Christ. So many lies that when we come with the truth, people think that the lies is the truth and that the truth is the lie.
Who changed the truth for God into a lie? In English, Jesus Christ, in Hebrew, is Yahweh Shai. So do or die. The immaculate conception is deception. Along with the myth of giving gifts on December 25th. Christmas is Satan's clause, the birth of Nimrod. And not the son of God. To you was kinda odd. On the Passover, Christ was born in the spring. So now we bring the truth about the King of Kings. That's Black Jesus and not Caesar Borgias. And the facts can't be changed. It's all about the Most High. It's all about Yahweh Shai. It's all about the Most High. It's all about Yahweh Shai. It's all about the Most High. It's all about Yahweh Shai. It's all about the Most High. It's all about Yahweh Shai. It's all about the Most High.
Jesus is real.
Shalom, Israel.
Shalom.
Shalom to everybody online. Welcome to another live class. We're here at 8524 South Braeswood Boulevard, Houston, Texas 77071. Our class times are Monday and Wednesday from 7 to 10 p.m., Friday from 6 to 9 p.m., and Saturday morning Shabbat class from 10 to 2. If you're local here in Houston, please feel free to join us for any one of those class times. If you're in the San Antonio area, we have a school at 4219 Centergate Street, San Antonio, Texas 78217. Their class times are, I believe, are Tuesdays through Saturday. Okay, if you're in the Albuquerque, New Mexico area, we have a school at 7710 Medial Boulevard, Suite F, 87110. Okay, also we have the Virginia school. I forgot to get the address. I'm sorry. But we're not having class yet. They're in the process right now of cleaning the school up, inside, painting. So that's what they've been doing for the last 3 days. Just trying to get it ready, get it prepped. So that's what they've been out there doing. So look out for class out in Virginia here pretty soon. Okay, you can catch our ISB, HBK, or Hidden Truth cable show every Saturday at 8 o'clock. You can stream it live on hmstv.org, or you can catch it on Comcast Local Channel 17. Okay, that's if you're local in Houston, Channel 17 on Comcast. Anywhere else, it's hmstv.org. You can also catch our blogtalkradio.com, Blog Talk Radio /Mashaba. Okay, and that's Mashaba out there in Albuquerque. So he runs a school in Albuquerque. So you catch the blog talk. Kids class. We're doing kids class on Saturdays on the Sabbath, during Sabbath class. Okay, so if you want your kids to attend kids class, bring them to Sabbath class, and they do kids class in the back. All right, for our previously recorded kids classes, you can go to ISB HBK Kids on YouTube. All right, but we're not going to be recording them and putting any more up as of right now. So if you want your kids to be in class, they're under 12 and under, come on down on the Sabbath, and they'll be doing kids class with the kids in the back. They had a real good one this past Sabbath. All right, so grown-ups on this side, the children, the youngins, right? They on that side. All right. You can catch us here live on YouTube under the Israelite School of Biblical History and Practical Knowledge. You can check out our 5 Minutes of Wisdom, ISB HBK Kids, ISB HBK Virginia class, ISB HBK San Antonio. All right. Make sure you like, share, subscribe to those different channels. Okay. If you need to reach a teacher, you can reach Priest Kazakia at 281-707-2737. I can be reached at 303-557-8979. You can also reach us via email at isbhpk@isbhpk.org. Okay. If you like any garments made, you can reach out to the sisters on Facebook under Israel Wear, and you put in your request there, whatever you want. Any donations you want to give, you can mail those to either of the school locations, addresses I gave. I promise I'll have Virginia's address by Wednesday. Okay? So whatever you like to donate, books, pens, papers, they're going to need desks for people to sit in. If you know anybody that got desks that they want to give away, or for cheap, we ain't, it ain't always got to be free. We get it. But if y'all got, a little discount, hook a brother up. Black folk always want to hook up. Come on, man. Right? So, but we need it. So, anything school supply wise you want to give, mail them to any one of those locations. It's welcome and needed. Any monetary donations, you already know. We definitely take those. Cause that helps out too. Keeps the rent paid, light bill, internet, and just whatever little things we need. We got to get some repairs done around here. Broken windows. People trying to break in, and leaks in the ceiling and things like that. So whatever little, whatever monetary donations y'all give, it goes right back into either the building or something to do with the building. Okay. So yeah, we definitely appreciate that. Anybody that that vowed to help the school out, y'all been getting that in consistently. We definitely appreciate it. Okay, so that's gonna be it for the announcements. I didn't miss anything, right? That's gonna be it for the announcements. Let's before we get into class, does anybody got any questions in class? While they logging online, does anybody got any questions? Oh, I like that thumbnail.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I like that thumbnail. It's a good one. Anybody in class got questions? Real quick, Eddie, I know you said you wanted to be a part of the group chat that we have here. Hit me up with your email. It has to be a Gmail, I believe. But I did send you a request. So I don't know if, is he on? I don't even know if I sent you a request to the email that you gave us, but you got to make sure you have Google Hangouts downloaded. Let me see. You might be, I didn't even get a chance to check. Let me see. I'll let y'all get class. We're going to keep y'all updated. Yeah. Let me see here. One sec. Maybe he got added. Yeah. It doesn't, I don't think it has to be a Gmail, actually. I don't think it has to be a Gmail. There's people here without Gmails. Yeah, send me your info one more time, but make sure you have Google Hangouts downloaded. That way you can get on the chat. All right, and we don't bombard you. We don't bombard you with text. A couple scriptures here and there, updates on what's going on, things like that. Let's see here. No questions?
No.
Y'all been studying?
Con.
What you been studying, Lamont?
I was just going over some stories, man. I was just looking at how, Absalom. I just studied going over Absalom, how he killed Amon and Joab, and how basically set up David and Joab killed Absalom. Just going over the drama and then studying the soldier stuff.
Okay, yeah, that Samuel's is some real good reading. That book of Samuel, when you're in that, you get lost in that, man. It's like a novella. It's like your grandmama and them story. They used to be like, don't interrupt me with my stories. Yeah, man, you start getting into that book of Samuel, those stories, man, with David. You get lost in that. That's usually my late night reading before bed. Early morning, late night. I'm a late night person, so y'all know I don't sleep. So that's what I be doing, just reading. What you been studying, Jermaine?
I've been at some Jeremiah Lamentations.
Okay. A little Babylonian captivity.
Yeah.
Con, what about you, Major?
Ecclesiasticus, I'm still in that.
Trying to get that all around wisdom.
Wisdom of it,
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm gonna tell y'all one thing. The last week, I haven't really been, like I said, I haven't listening to no music really. Like even if I'm at the gym, you'll find I throw on my audio Bible. It's funny, I threw some music on this morning and I was like, it feels weird. And I threw on the audio Bible. And I was able to, I went from like Psalms, I think I was at Psalms 119 and I ended up at Psalms 140. Like, dang. But I was, as I'm working out, I'm grabbing precepts and texting them to myself. I'm like, oh, this could go with this. This can go with this. This can go with this. That audio Bible, if you don't have a chance to sit down and just read, that audio Bible is key. Because you can do that, it's effortless. All you gotta do is listen. If you're cooking, when I'm cooking, if I'm juicing, if I got the headphones in and I'm listening to something, it's the audio Bible. All the music, all the YouTube, all that stuff that don't matter, it don't matter. It ain't gonna do nothing to strengthen you. You gotta look at, it's almost like you have to be over righteous with your studies and what you let enter into your cerebral cortex. Because everything is trying to fight against the wisdom. Everything is trying to fight against the purpose. Everything is trying to fight against the calling. So it's like even the little 5-10 minutes of music you give yourself to, you might not be carried away into the music abyss, but it fights against a little bit of the wisdom that's entering. So, we got to be real spiritually strong to combat Satan on all levels. He's coming on all levels. All levels, man. You got to see it. I mean, look at this gay thing, this whole gay month thing. Every year it gets worse and worse. Where now it's not a question of gay rights. Now it's an agenda to force you into their lifestyle. But if you ain't spiritually strong, you'll start to compromise. What's that?
And I feel bad for the kids because today in the mall we're rapping with a guy,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's this guy, just looks like like he could be in his 30s,
Mm-hmm.
but he had on like he had really broad shoulders, like and like
Yeah.
his build was like broad shoulder, then like triangle, and then but he had on like some my mom used to call them booty cutters. Yeah, it was like
Wait, this is a grown man?
grown man, and like walking all feminine, and I just be thinking about the kids, man. Like you see this grown man with a beard, got a long shirt on, but then got on some booty shorts.
Mm-hmm. Damn.
And around nothing but girls.
Yeah.
And it's messing our kids' mind up.
Because it's no longer about a lifestyle choice. It's about how do we indoctrinate everybody. Remember, go to Romans, I believe. It's in two places. Where it says the 7,000 we be in Sodom and Gomorrah. Get that one for me.
You want the one
Either one.
in Isaiah?
Give me that one.
Call.
There's Isaiah. Give me that one real quick. I'm just killing a little time, just in case I got questions.
Eddie responded back He said he got the download. He said he's not really good with technology, so he didn't know what to do.
Oh, once he downloaded Google Hangouts, he just got to click on the link that I emailed him, and then it should let him in there.
And then somebody else, Tazaria Yasharala.
He wants to be in there too.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell him to text me. Put my number in there and just tell him to text me his email. Yeah, but it's like the scriptures say, man. If it wasn't for 7,000 reserved, we'd be like unto Sodom and Gomorrah, bro. This whole earth would be like Sodom and Gomorrah. Why? Because it's this plague of homosexuality is infectious. It's no longer about my lifestyle and a choice, but it's about how do I indoctrinate and change everybody's mind off the Most High. That's what it's about. Damn, I forgot where that one is. Did you find it?
I got right part. I can
Hold on, I'm gonna find it. Yeah, go to Romans 9:29. There's one in Romans and there's where Isaiah quoted it in Isaiah. I get it. Go ahead.
Romans chapter 9 verse 29. And as
Isaiah 1:9.
I
was there. Go ahead, read.
And as Isaiah said before, except the Most High of Sabbath.
Right. The Most High of Sabo. Go ahead.
Sabo. Okay. Had left us a seed. We had been as Sodom, and been made like unto Gomorrah.
Right. Isaiah chapter 1 and verse 9. Except the Lord of hosts had left unto us a very small remnant. We should have been as Sodom, and we would have been like unto Gomorrah. That's what's been happening through time. That there had to be a remnant left back that was going to fight for truth, justice, fight for one of the first commandments, which was what? Be fruitful and multiply. It's the first thing the Most High told Adam and Eve, amongst other things. He said, go be fruitful, multiply, and subdue the earth. So, if it wasn't for a very few elect, man, this whole earth would be gay. But that's why they push it to the kids. That's why it's important, man, to keep your kids' minds on the wisdom. Start them early. Get them out of the phone. Get them out of the video games. Get them off of Fortnite. Get them off of Roblox. Definitely. I told you about Roblox, right? How they got like 100. They inseminated like 100 and something porn videos in the Roblox. Robot porn, and it looks very real. But that's what the kids be watching. All the Disney movies, man. We talked about it. The Spork and Toy Story, transgender. Right? You watch how they did Disney, man. It was like drawing penises on Mickey Mouse back in the day. And I mean, disgruntled artists, right? But come with that gayness. Coming with that defiledness to subliminally, what it does, it defiles your children. Everything, you got a conscience and you got a subconscious. And things enter into us subconsciously. And it's like, well, how did he turn gay? Well, you sat in front of Disney all day. That's how. You sat in front of Disney. You sat in front of SpongeBob. SpongeBob's gay. Him and Patrick, come on. Dudes is not straight. And if they ain't gay, they effeminate as hell, and that's wrong. You know, so just a warning, man. We gotta be real careful what's going on. You know, you watch the gay parades. They have little boys out there looking at grown men's penises. Come on, man. Like, why kids gotta be there? Like, if you want to promote your defiled sexuality, why y'all got kids there? They don't know no better.
It's crazy.
Because it's not about their sexuality. It's about how do we push this agenda. And if you start them early, remember, train up a child in the way that you would have him, he would not depart. So if I train you to be a faggot at 5, you're going to be a faggot for life. If I train you to be an altar boy at 5, you're going to turn into a preacher. But imagine if we train our children early. They're going to not depart from it, man. We read it in Josephus the other day, right? That we trained them up from their infancy. Why? So they wouldn't have an occasion to even neglect the law. So just, you know, Just want to make sure that we on it, man. There it is. Yeah, Mustafa Thawada. I see you put it in there. Khan, I just sent a message to the pre-squad. Okay, Khan, yeah, just email, just text me y'all's emails, and then I'll throw y'all in there. Make sure y'all download Google Hangouts. You gotta have Google Hangouts. Yeah, you see it? The Roblox porn? Yeah. Sad. Sad. I've been reading about King Solomon. Yeah, King Solomon is dope to read about. You read about Solomon in the scriptures, and you jump over to the Josephus, and then you hit that Wisdom of Solomon. Man, it's mind blowing. That Wisdom of Solomon that's one of my favorite books of the Bible, because he goes all the way in. Solomon was that guy, man.
Yeah.
But then you go into the Josephus and you read about him, and it edifies a little bit more just on Solomon. Yeah, man. But it's all good. Let's King Josiah. We actually gonna talk about him real fast. I was reading about King Josiah. Yeah, powerful king, righteous king, right? Righteous king. We're actually gonna go into today. We're gonna deal with Ezekiel the 37th chapter, the Valley of the Dry Bones, right? And just break it down, precepts, and just get an understanding of what it's talking about. All right, so somebody go to Ezekiel the 37th chapter in the first verse. And just a quick little background.
Ezekiel 37.
Who knows the time frame of Ezekiel? Does anybody know? Or even what captivity he was a part of? So Ezekiel, you can write it down. Ezekiel is from 620 BC to 570 BC. Yes?
Someone asked a question in the chat right before you.
Can you please explain this scripture? Yeah, what is it?
He put it in Ezekiel 16:38.
Ezekiel 16. Oh. Ezekiel 16. Ezekiel 16. So hold off on that and go to Ezekiel 16. Read that.
Ezekiel chapter 16, verse 38. And I will judge thee as women that break wedlock and shed blood are judged.
Right.
And I will give thee blood and fury and jealousy.
Right. So, let's see here. When you Ezekiel 16, another real powerful chapter. All right. Now, when you go into Ezekiel 16, man, the Most High was clowning here. He was clowning Israel. Go to Ezekiel 16 and verse 3.
Ezekiel
verse 1.
Chapter 16, verse 1.
He was clowning Israel, man. He was really putting us out there. Go ahead.
Again, the word of the Most High came unto me, saying, Son of man, cause Jerusalem to know her abomination.
Right, because we were living filthy. This is still during the Babylonian captivity. And you know, Ezekiel, he was preaching to the exiles from the Babylonian captivity. Go ahead.
And say, Thus saith the Most High Power.
Go ahead.
Unto Jerusalem.
Unto who?
Jerusalem.
Read.
Thy birth and thy nativity is of the land of Canaan.
Man, he called us filthy Hamites.
Come on.
He said, y'all are like the filthy Hamites. Now, we know damn well we don't come from Canaan, as far as them being our forefathers. Right? Is this hitting you too much? You good?
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, take this to the back. I just have to get my frankincense and myrrh up. Get real righteous up in here and holy. He said your birth and your nativity. A child's nativity is upbringing. He said it's like Canaan. Go ahead.
Thy father was an Amorite.
Come on.
And thy mother an Hittite.
Yeah, but he was showing us how far we went off. How far off we went from the Most High. We basically were brought up under these other nations in the way we did things. Remember Real simple. You ain't got to go there, but Psalms 106:35, we always pull it. And we were mingled amongst the heathen and learned their works. But not just learned it, we were more abominable than them. The scriptures tell you that we were the reason we were more abominable because we knew the right way. Right? Go ahead.
Con.
Verse 4.
Con. And as for thy nativity, in the day thou was born,
right?
Thy navel was not cut.
Now think about that. What's he saying here?
The umbilical cord.
Right. The umbilical cord wasn't cut, meaning no one cared enough about Israel. No one cared to cut that cord. Think about it. When a baby pops out, what's the first thing they do?
Cut the umbilical.
Cut that cord, wrap them up in swaddling cloths. It shows a form of nurturing, according to the white man, right? But according just to nature, that cord got to get cut. You see that? Go ahead.
Neither was thou washed in water to supple thee.
Right? Go ahead.
Thou was not salted at all.
Read.
Nor swaddled at all.
Read verse 5.
None I pity thee to do any of these unto thee, to have compassion upon thee.
Right. Nobody pitied us, man. The only one that pitied us was who? Most High. And he's going to tell us. Go ahead.
But thou was cast out in the open field.
Yeah, man. You were like, Brenda got a baby. Remember Brenda's got a baby. You were like a dumpster baby. That's what he said Israel was like. Dumpster babies, man. You got birthed and your mom didn't want you. You got tossed. Go ahead.
To the loathing of thy person. In the day that thou was born.
Read verse 6.
And when I passed by thee and saw thee polluted in thine own blood.
Right.
I said unto thee when thou was in thy blood. Live.
He said what?
Live.
Read.
Yea, I said unto thee when thou was in thy blood. Live.
Right. So, you know, as you read down, he shows how he caused us to live. Beautified us with the ornaments and and things like that. Now as you go down and you read down, the Most High is read verse 26. Read verse 22.
Come. Verse 22. And in all thine abominations and thy whoredoms, thou hast not remembered the days of thy youth.
Thou hast not what?
Remembered the days of thy youth.
Right, because read on, watch. Read on.
When thou was naked and bare, and was polluted in thy blood, and it came to pass after all thy wickedness, woe unto thee.
Right, because when you read Deuteronomy 32 and verse 15, it said Jeshurun waxed fat and cake. The upright one. The Most High took care of us. He beautified us. He put us up. And then we got lazy. We got lazy. We got fat. We got thick. We got overgrown, like the scriptures say, and we just got lazy, man. And we forsook the law. We forsook the Most High. So this is the Most High passing judgment. He's like, listen, y'all gonna get it. Destruction. Right? So now, read verse 26.
Come on. Verse 26. Thou hast also committed fornication.
Right.
With the Egyptians, thy neighbors.
With thy what?
With the Egyptians, thy neighbors.
Go ahead.
Great of flesh.
Right. They're what?
Great of flesh.
Go ahead.
And has increased thy whoredoms.
You see how he uses that word whoredoms? Go ahead.
To provoke me to anger.
Jump to verse 28.
Thou hast played the whore also with the Assyrians.
Come on.
Because thou wast
unsatiable.
Unsatiable.
Can't be satisfied. Can't be content. Lustful. Read.
Yea, thou hast played the harlot with them.
Right, like the Most High, he calls Israel a whore. He calls Israel a harlot. Read verse 29.
Verse 29. Thou hast moreover multiplied thy fornication in the land of Canaan unto Chaldea.
Man, I love this chapter. Read verse 30. Go ahead.
And how weak is thine heart?
Yeah, he was like, man, how weak are y'all, man? How weak is your mind? Go ahead.
Saith the Most High thy power. Seeing thou doest all these things, the work of an imperious, whorish woman.
Read on.
And that thou buildest thine eminent place.
Right.
And the head of every way.
Come on.
And makest thine high place in every street.
Right. It's like when you read in Proverbs and it talks about that whore that sits at the top of the street waiting for men to catch. That's what them hoes used to do. Back in the day, them harlots, they sit at the top of the streets and wait for a simple-minded man to come down. They'd catch him in their snares. That's in Proverbs. Go ahead.
Come on. The work of an imperious, whorish woman. In that thou buildest thine eminent place in the head of every way.
Go ahead.
And makest thine high place in every street.
Read.
And has not been as an harlot. In that thou scornest higher.
But Most High was clowning us. Watch. Because he was basically saying here that we weren't even as good as a hoe. Because at least hoes take money. We was doing this we was getting just tossed around for nothing. Watch. Read verse 32.
Verse 32. But as a wife that committed adultery.
That committed what?
Adultery.
Now what is the penalty for adultery?
Yes.
Stone.
Right? The adulterer and adulteress be put to death. Go ahead.
Which taketh strangers instead of her husband.
Come on.
They give gifts to all whores, but thou givest thy gifts to all thy lovers.
You see that? He was showing us how backwards we were. Usually the man gives the gifts to his lovers, but guess what we were doing as whores? We were the ones giving the gifts to the tricks. Think about it. It's backwards. He was showing us like, you doing this all for nothing. It's in vain. Go ahead. All these different, and what were we giving into? The religions, right? The customs, the idolatry. Remember, the Most High, he's equating Israel to his bride, right? To this adulterous woman. Go ahead.
And hires them.
Now, where you at?
Verse 33.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
That they may come unto thee on every side for thy whoredom.
Now jump down. Read
35.
Verse 35. Yeah.
Wherefore, O harlot, hear the word of the Most High. Thus saith the Most High thy power, because thy filthiness was poured out,
right,
and thy nakedness discovered through thy whoredoms with thy lovers, and with all the idols of thy abominations.
You see what it was? It was with them idols, man. We've been in an idolatrous damnation, bro, up until even now. He said thy nakedness, and thy nakedness discovered through thy whoredoms. Go ahead.
With thy lovers, and with all the idols of thy abominations, and by the blood of thy children, which thou didst give unto them.
Right, because at these times we were literally sacrificing our children to Molech, tossing them on that hot pan, and literally giving up our children and burning them up. Read.
Verse 37. Behold, therefore I will gather all thy lovers,
right,
with whom thou hast taken pleasure.
So, you taking pleasure in America, here's the fate. Read.
And all them that thou hast loved, with all them that thou hast hated.
Right, because remember the Most High said, I'm a jealous power. Read.
I will even gather them round about against thee.
Read.
And will discover thy nakedness unto them.
Yeah, like he said, Egypt will be our shame. America is our shame. Because why? You got niggas that love America, but then America will pull you out the car and shoot you. You love this country, but it don't love you. Go ahead.
That they may see all thy nakedness.
Right, go ahead.
Verse 38. And I will judge thee as women that break wedlock and shed blood are judged.
Leviticus 20:10. Get that, Lamont. Read.
And I will give thee blood and fury and jealousy.
So he said, I will judge thee as a woman that break wedlock and shed blood are judged. Because a murderer, right? How is he judged? At this time, it was death. Read Leviticus 20:10.
Leviticus chapter 20, verse 10.
And
the man that committed adultery with another man's wife,
right,
even he that committed adultery with his neighbor's wife,
read,
the adulterer and the adulteress,
come on,
shall surely
judge you like that. Now you see why we went through so much captivities. Now you see why, man, a lot of our people are being put to death, man. And we sitting there like, I look at cats getting pulled out of cars. I look at brothers getting beat up by cops, punched in the face, kicked, slapped, harassed, and I'm like, they're not innocent. They're not innocent. There's something that they did. There's something that they did where the Most High sent that spirit to them. Come on, the whole nation ain't innocent, man. But the ones that are trying to, come out of that foolishness and not be a part of the status quo, the Most High is protecting them. Cops ain't running up in nobody's house in here. I can stand in front of my house. Ain't no cop running up talking about, show me your ID. Prove that you live here. I just watched a video of some kids in Cali. Cop ran up. Give me your ID. Like, give me your ID. I'm in front of my house. And they going back and forth. I seen another dude get arrested right in front of his house. Because he looked like he had a warrant.
Yeah.
But the ones that are trying to hold to this wisdom, hold to this word, the Most High is not sending those spirits to us, man. Because that's what it's about. Why? Because the purpose that we serve for the Most High, what's the purpose of us getting killed and locked up if we trying to do the right thing? The purpose of the wicked is for a sign, to show you, stop being wicked. The purpose of them getting killed, when you see a Trayvon Martin and a Mike Brown and all these kids getting shot up, that purpose is for you to say, damn, let me train up my children the right way. When you see these Sandra plans, the purpose is to tell you to stop smoking and shut the hell up when a cop is talking to you. That's what the purpose is for. They're the sign, because the Jews need a sign. But the Greeks seek after knowledge. But we're supposed to be looking for that knowledge in things and saying, you know what? Where's the knowledge of trying to go back and forth with the oppressor? You're going to lose. Y'all see that? So that's what that scripture is going to. I mean, Ezekiel 16, all you got to do is just read the whole chapter, man. This is very, 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 very good chapter. All right? And it just goes into all the different nations that had us under captivity and how we joined with them, took it to their customs, that the Most High is going to judge them and us. All right? All right, so I like the fact we're still in Ezekiel. So let's jump over to Ezekiel 37. And we got this class title, Coming Back from the Dead. How to come back from the dead. Because that's what the Ezekiel 37 chapter is about. Now, we're talking about Ezekiel. What we got for Ezekiel's prophesying period? What do we got? It's 630, what is it? Y'all write it down?
620 BC, 520 BC.
520 or
570.
570, yeah. Yep. No, you're good. Where's that dry bones? Right. And during Ezekiel, King Josiah was the reigning king. All right, righteous king. Then after him, that's when all the wicked kings came and the Most High sent the Babylonians upon us. So you had King Josiah, which reigned from 641 to 609. All right, so that's a little background, just some dates. You can write them down. That's why when you read these prophets and these kings, you'll see that the Bible is not written. The Bible that we have, the way it's put together and compiled, it's not in chronological order. It's not chronologically put together. All right, because like Ezekiel, Jeremiah, these belong more closer in the front of the book. Amos, Obadiah, they belong more in the front of the book, like after Genesis and things like that. So, all right, so let's go to Ezekiel 37 and verse 1.
Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
The hand of the Lord was upon me and carried me out in the spirit of the Lord.
Right, so just so we know who we're talking to, who it's talking about, we know that this is Ezekiel, right? If you want to say narrating, go to Ezekiel chapter 1, verse 3.
Question.
Sir.
I was looking this up and I don't know how true it is, but does Ezekiel mean in Hebrew it's Kazakh?
Kazakh?
Yeah.
No, Kazakh? Like Kazakia?
Yeah.
Kazakh is strength.
looked it up. Yeah, something off of Google saying the real. It said like watchman or watch Ezekiel.
Oh, like the word what?
Like a
It might mean what? Wait, we gotta look it up. We can look it up. We can look it up. But yeah, Kazak, that's strength.
Okay.
Like Kazakia, my strength. Yeah. Read that, Ezekiel chapter 1, verse 3. And I'll find this here.
Ezekiel chapter 1, verse 3.
Uh-huh.
The word of the Lord came expressly unto Ezekiel the priest.
Right? He was a what?
Ezekiel the priest.
Go ahead.
The son of Buzi.
Uh-huh.
In the land of the Chaldeans.
Right.
By the
land
river.
of the Chaldeans, right? Which, when you go into the Chaldeans, they stem from the Babylonians. Go ahead.
God. By the river of Chebar.
Right. Now jump back to Ezekiel 37.
God. The hand of the Lord was upon me and carried me out of the spirit of the Lord.
Uh-huh.
And carried me out in the spirit of the Lord and set me down in the midst of the valley, which was full of bones, and caused me to pass by them round about. And behold, there were very many in the open valley.
Where are you at? What verse?
Verse 2.
Read verse 1 more time. You went fast.
God. The hand of the Lord was upon me, and carried me out in the spirit of the Lord, and set me down in the midst of the valley, which was full of bones.
Right, so who can take a guess about what this valley represents?
The dead bodies.
The valley.
Oh.
You got bones and you got valleys.
The great
America.
The valley, yeah, the valley represents America.
Okay.
So you got this valley. What do the dry bones or the bones represent?
Our people.
The bones are going to represent our people. The bones are going to represent our people. Go to Psalms 23 and verse 4.
Psalm chapter 23, verse 4. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death.
Because don't we walk through the valley of death every time we step out of our doors? As black, Hispanics, and Native Indians? Oh, yeah. You step out that door, you don't know what can befall you. You know, you just gotta have the faith and know that the Most High, if He said, if you do good, no evil shall come upon you. You know, if thou doest well, wouldn't you not be accepted? You know, we walk through this valley of the shadow of death because at any time anything can happen. Go ahead.
I will fear no evil, for thou art with me.
Read.
Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me.
Go to Job 10 and verse 21. Yeah, so the valley represents America. Okay, the valley represents America. And really, I mean, if you want to be real about it, man, the valley, there's many valleys.
Right.
We got our people scattered through North, Central, South America, throughout the world, man. Wherever our people are, it's a dead valley. It's a valley of dry bones, dry Israelites that don't know who they are, that don't know their nationality, that don't know their language. So there's many valleys, but the concentration of our people is where?
Here.
Scattered to North, Central, and South America. Yeah. And the Caribbeans. Okay? So go to Job 10:21.
Job chapter 10, verse 21. Before I go, whence I shall not return, even to the land of darkness.
To the land of what?
Darkness.
Right, because where is the light in this wicked place? This place is about nothing but darkness, man. It's nothing but death and destruction here in America. Go ahead.
And the shadow of death.
And the what?
Shadow of death.
Go ahead.
A land of darkness as darkness itself, and of the shadow of death without any odor, and where the light is as darkness.
Yeah, because the light represents the wisdom. But the Most High said the wisdom of this world is foolishness. So even the light that they try to come with is dark. It fades you out. It dims you down. Any wisdom you come from America and you can try to use, it's not profitable. So even Job was saying here, man, a place where the light is as darkness. Go back to, go to Revelation 17. Go to Revelation 17 and verse 4. And we hit this the other day in the Zechariah 5 breakdown, but it's important to reiterate. It's important to reiterate. And, you know, when you read this Ezekiel, obviously, he was talking about and talking about for that time, right? But this stands true. This stands true for every captivity up until now. Y'all gotta understand that. This story, this prophecy, that was for them, but it also stands and runs concurrent through every captivity we've been through. Revelation 17 and 4.
Book of Revelations, chapter 17, verse 4.
Uh-huh.
And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color.
And we know that the woman represents Babylon the Great, right? Go ahead.
And decked with gold and precious stones and pearls.
And Babylon the Great, which is symbolic for America today, or Mystery Babylon. Go ahead.
Having a golden cup in her hand.
Right.
Full of abominations.
Wait, what is America full of?
Of abominations.
What was this valley full of?
Of abominations.
Come on.
And filthiness.
And what?
Filthiness.
Read.
Of her fornication.
Go ahead. Read verse 5.
And upon her forehead was a name written. Mystery. Babylon the Great.
Right. So even if you want to take it back to this time, it stands true. We're still dealing with the Babylonian captivity. But it said Mystery Babylon. Go ahead.
The mother of harlots and abominations of the earth.
Come on.
Verse 6. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints.
Read.
And with the blood of the martyrs.
Martyrs
of Yahweh Shai.
Right. Because, yes. How do they kill the saints in America? Well, they teach against the truth. How do they get the blood of the saints? Well, think about it. When they got you out there eating pork and being a homosexual and committing murders and stealing and robbing and drugs, that blood is on you now, man. But that's what this America is about. That's what this valley is about. Because we're going to see these bones, man. They represent death, destruction, but they represent the estate of our people. The destitute, desperate, lack of knowledge estate of Israel. Because the bones weren't fully dead. They were just dried out. Go ahead, read on.
Verse 6. Salah. Verse 6. Last precept.
Uh-huh.
And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration.
Right. Go to verse 18.
Verse 18. And the woman which thou sawest is that great city.
Right.
Which reigneth over the kings of the earth.
Right. So that valley is that great city, man. America reigns over all the earth. Go to Revelations 11 and 8. So you got to see how this valley, what does it represent? It represents Babylon. And it's also going to represent something else as we read. Revelations 11 and verse 8.
Revelations chapter 11 verse 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the streets of the great city.
Right. So those bones lying in the street, lying in the valley, those dead bodies, man. It said they should lie where?
In the streets of the great city.
Go ahead.
Which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt.
Right. Homosexuality and slavery, man. That's what Sodom and Gomorrah was about. Was about homosexuality and all types of idolatry and filthiness. And Egypt was about slavery. Think about it, man. Our people are here in America as homosexuals and slaves to the society. That's it. Because if you ain't gay, you just a hard-working brother, right? Just a hard-working brother, man, just trying to get to work, trying to make a paycheck, trying to chase a bag. But you just a spiritual slave, a mental slave. Then you got some of those that are gay and stuck in slavery. So you get the double whammy. But that That valley represents Babylon. It represents Sodom and Egypt, which all in turn represents America. Right? Go. So read Ezekiel one more time, chapter 37 and verse 1.
Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 1. The hand of the Lord was upon me, and carried me out in the spirit of the Lord.
Right.
And set me down in the midst of the valley.
Come on.
Which was full of bones.
Read verse 2.
And caused me to pass by them round about.
Right.
And behold, there were very many in the open valley.
Right.
And lo, they were very dry.
They were what?
Very dry.
Yeah, he said they were very dry. He said they were very dry, but those bones, watch, those bones represent death, man. They represent sin and death. Go to Job 20 and verse 11. Job 20 and verse 11.
Job chapter 20 verse 11. His bones are full of the sin of his youth.
His bones are full of what?
The sin of his youth.
Come on.
Which shall lie down with him in the dust.
Right. Now, go to James chapter 1 verse 12. James chapter 1 and verse 12.
James chapter 1 verse 12. Blessed is the man that endureth temptation.
Go ahead.
For when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life.
Come on.
Which the Lord hath promised to them that love him.
Right. Read on.
Let no man say, when he is tempted, I am tempted of the Most High.
You're going to read the verse 15. Read.
For the Most High cannot be tempted with evil.
Go ahead.
Neither tempted he any man. But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust.
And this is the point I'm trying to get to. Read.
And enticed. Then when lust had conceived, it bringeth forth sin.
What does it bring?
Sin.
What does lust bring?
Sin.
What does fornication bring?
Sin.
What does adultery bring?
Sin.
Read.
And sin, when it's finished, bringeth forth death.
Right. And sin, when it's finished, it bring forth death. Go to Romans 5 and 12.
What was that?
Job 20 and the verse 11.
20 and 11.
And then James 1 and verse 12 to 15. Now we're at Romans 5 and 12.
Romans chapter 5 verse 12.
If I'm going too fast, slow me down. Go ahead.
Wherefore, as by one man sin entered into the world.
You see that? It says, wherefore by one man sin entered into the world. Right? Go ahead.
And death by sin.
And what?
Death by sin.
You see, so those bones, man, those bones represent the sin which led to our deaths. Go ahead.
And so death passed upon all men.
Read.
For that all have sinned.
Right. Y'all see that? So death passed upon all men because all have sinned. And we went through it. I didn't go there because we hit it all last, all Sabbath class. But 2nd Ezra 3 and verse 7, where the Most High said he gave Adam commandment, which he immediately transgressed, and he appointed death into all his generations. So you could write in there 2nd Ezra chapter 3 and verse 7 on your notes. And then we're going to go to 2nd Ezra 15:26. So again, we're reading about Ezekiel, Babylonian captivity, but this went all the way back to Adam, man. This is what Adam was dealing with, sin and death. Adam was dealing with sin, death, and being dried out as a people. Jeremiah dealt with the same thing. Obadiah dealt with the same thing. Amos, Hosea, they all dealt with Israel in the same state. Now, here we are centuries later. Now, I'm not no famous prophet. You know what I'm saying? But we're dealing with the same thing. With our people being dry. Being dried out by what? By sin. They look like that crack is drying you out. That bad food is drying you out. That Christianity is drying you out. It's making us lifeless, man. Right? Because we don't really see what that dryness of bones really is representative of. 2nd Ezra 15:26.
2nd Ezra chapter 15 verse 26. For the Lord knoweth all them that sin against him.
Right? So the Lord knoweth all them that sin against him. He ain't going to forget. He said the sins have reached unto heaven.
God.
And the cry of Jerusalem has gone up. Read.
And therefore delivered he them unto death.
Wait, where do they go?
Delivered them unto death and destruction.
Unto death, man. So the sin led to death. So the dry bones, you can write equals sin equals death. All right, next scripture, Romans 6:23.
Romans chapter 6, verse 23.
Uh-huh.
For the wages of sin is death.
For the what?
Wages of sin is death.
You see, this is simple. The wages, you know what the wages are? What do they call your wages?
Your earnings.
Your earnings. So, or your pay. That payback, right? The Most High is not mocked. You reap what you sow. So the payback for sin is death. Y'all with me?
God.
Read on.
But the gift of the Most High is eternal life through Yahushua our Lord.
Right. So
That was Romans
6:23.
6:20.
Yeah, they say I need to slow down online. My bad. I'm so reborn. Let's go back to Ezekiel
37 verse
2. Start at verse 2.
Come. Ezekiel chapter 37 verse 2.
Uh-huh.
And caused me to pass by them round about.
Go ahead.
And behold, there were very many in the open valley.
Right?
And lo, they were very dry.
Right. So let's just go back and recap. So you got the valley, which represents America. Well, let's start over. You got the valley, which represents Babylon, Assyria, right? It's all these things, but what it represents today would be America, okay? Or spiritual Sodom and Egypt, spiritual or mystery Babylon.
God.
Okay, so you can just put the valley represents America. The bones represent sin and death. Okay? Now, we're at Ezekiel 37:2, and it said, lo, they were very dry. He didn't just say they was dry. He said they were very dry.
God.
That very dryness, that the very dry bones, that equals the ruined and desperate state of Israel and Judah. Because remember, at this time, the kingdom was split. Kingdom was split in half, but this represents the state of Israel now, man. We're very dry as a people. We getting moist. We getting moist. We getting wet, right? Now, I'm not talking about getting dunked in baptism pools and things like that. We getting wet with the Spirit. Right? Go to, so the very dry bones equal the ruined and desperate state of Israel and Judah. And you got to see it, man. We are in a desperate state. We're desperate on all fronts. We desperate for jobs. We desperate for food. It ain't not one. Think about it. You got Haiti. You got Venezuela. You got Puerto Rico. They still ain't got no lights out there. Come on, man. Look how they doing to these smaller countries. Desperate. Then you got us in America getting what? Shot, killed, poisoned,
Right.
kids snatched up. I be on Facebook, man. They talk about how many black women getting kidnapped. I'm like, every minute there's an Amber Alert for a little black baby. Then when they find them, there's no organs. Or a dude get hung, but on his throat, they killed one dude, man. They cut his throat out, took his voice box and his organs. I was like, what? Yeah. You heard about it? Yeah, I think he was a military vet.
Yep, he was a vet.
Yeah.
His parents are protesting it, like right now still.
Yeah, still, yeah. But think about think about Baltimore, man. They out there protesting. Think about Flint, Michigan. Desperation. We're desperate on all sides, man. We're trying to survive with the condition, and you know we're coming out of it, but it got to get worse before it get better.
Right.
Read Jeremiah 4:22. Jeremiah 4:22, just dealing with the desperate state or Israel's state of desperation, and why?
Jeremiah chapter 4, verse 22.
Go ahead.
For my people is foolish. They have not known me.
They are what?
Foolish.
See, we're desperate. We're in the state of desperation because we're fools, man. He said that we have not known him. Just like when we read in Ezekiel 16, he says your father was a Hittite and your mother was an Amorite. Your nativity was that of Canaan. Woo! Read.
They are sottish children.
When it says sottish children, that word sottish means dumb. He called us dumb little children, man. Read.
And they have none understanding.
Read.
They are wise to do evil.
And ain't that what the black and Hispanic man is good at? We quick to do some negative, but how about we turn that negative to good? We quick to turn on our own people, but how come we don't band together? You know, as well, I've been seeing it too on TV, man, on the Facebook TV, called Facebook TV these days. But I've been seeing it where, you know, Esau pull Judah over, and the homies on the block will pull up with their phones like, you ain't about to just harass this dude. Hell no. You ain't just about to unjustly pull him out the car, and Esau will pack up and leave. Because they scared of us, man. They scared of us. One of us is a gang to them. Two of us is a gang. Three of us is a riot. So imagine 4, 5, 6 homies pull up. Bruh. I see, they was in Cali, man. You know the homies on the block in Cali. They was like, hell nah, cut. They start, bruh, flipping pigeons. Esau was like, yeah, we out. They out to the car and death. But I've been seeing that a lot. Because that unity. Now, imagine if we did that more. Instead of unifying to go rob something or kill something or drive by something, how about we unify and band together and do some type of police watch or a neighborhood watch where every time they pull somebody over, you get a bunch of brothers out there to record it because it's not illegal. Record it to make sure that the cops are on the up and up. I mean, they can shoot all of us if they want it, but I guarantee you a lot less violence would tone down a little bit with these cops. What's up?
I remember when I used to follow Dr. Umar, he was talking about that. He was creating this ski mask club. Basically, men that beat up on women, brothers are just going to be in a ski mask, hop out of a van, just start
beating up on who though?
If men were beating up on women.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Ski mask
Yeah.
club, they was going to just like
turn that evil into good. But it says that we're wise to do evil. Go ahead.
But to do good, they have no knowledge.
And it's not even that we don't even have no knowledge. We don't even care to do good.
Right.
Our people don't even care to do better, man. It's sad. Like, yeah, I'm product of my environment. Dum. This is what I was raised in. Crack and hookers. Dum. This is it for me. This ain't it for us, man. We greater than crack rock. And either you selling crack rock or you got a wicked jump shot. Hell nah. We better than crack rock and basketball, man. I was watching, again, I was on Facebook. I be scrolling. And I guess it was some old slavery show, and he was like, yeah, I got a mandingo for sale. This big-ass black dude. He walks up, and this German chick comes up, and she's feeling inside of his pants. Right? And so they're trying to bid for this dude, and you know, it reminded me of the NFL Combine. And the basketball tryouts. The basketball, it reminded me like, damn, this is a modern day slavery. All right, nigga, let's see how high you can jump. Let's see how fast you can run. Let's see how much you can bench. Let's see, because he said, I got a strong old mandingo right here. I was like, damn, that sounds like the Combine. Like, he could bench 450 a million times, and he could run a 4.5 flat, and his vertical is 40 inches. She reached into this man's drawers, into his trousers, and was like, yeah, I want him for $4,000. I was like, damn. And the white boys was like, wait a minute, she's about to go buy a Negro? And they're like, yeah, she's German. Them Germans like black men, which still holds true today. But she was trying to buy him to be a buck, young buck. Blow that back out. That's what that was about. But just that little clip, I was like, damn, man, that's how they do brothers now. They get you butt naked in some shorts.
Yep.
Boxing, same thing. You get butt naked in some shorts and you show off all your muscles and
Yep.
They turn us into circus clowns, man. Why? Because we're so quick to do that, but not to attain the knowledge of the Most High. That should be the first thing. Fighting is already in us. David was a warrior. Solomon, they were all fighters, man. That's already in us. The Most High is a man of war. He's made in his image. So your aspiration shouldn't be to go be a boxer or MMA. It got to be something else. Go to Jeremiah 5:4.
Come. Jeremiah chapter 5, verse 4.
Right, and Mustafa, Deuteronomy 32 and 30. How should one chase 1,000 and two put 10,000 to flight? Except their rock had sold them and the Lord had shut them up. Yeah, because we used to do that. It'd be 1 on 1,000, man. 1 on 100. That's how powerful we were with the Most High. Now the 5-foot little officer chick, before she get out the car, niggas is scattering. Five big homies on the block running from the little 4'11" female officer with no partner. Her dog is her partner. She got a canine. Bro, David was slow killing bears and lions. Grabbing them by the beard, bro. Come on. Said he played with lions as if they were kids.
Go on.
But we running from dogs. How the mighty have fallen. Read Jeremiah 5:4.
Jeremiah chapter 5, verse 4. Therefore I said, surely these are poor. They are foolish.
They are what?
Foolish.
Come on.
For they know not the way of the Most High.
Yeah, because the reason why we're such in a destitute state is because we don't know the way of the Lord. We don't know what the Most High wants. Read.
For they know not the way of the Most High, nor the judgment of their power.
Go to Isaiah 1 and verse 3. Isaiah 1 and verse 3. All that stupidity that's being pumped into us, man, by these nations and watching what they do, where we've lost our way, man. Isaiah 1:3, read.
Isaiah chapter 1 verse 3.
Uh-huh.
The ox knoweth his owner.
The what?
The ox knoweth his owner.
Yeah, man, you ever try to work with an ox? They're one of the dumbest animals ever. Go ahead.
And the ass his master's crib.
And the ass is one of the stubbornest animals ever. But even the Most High is saying that they know where they come from. Go ahead.
But Israel do it not know.
We don't even know, but why don't we know? Read.
My people do it not consider.
We don't even consider the Most High. We consider everything else. Maybe I'm a Muslim. Or maybe I'm a white boy. Or maybe I'm a Christian. Well, my mom and them told me that I was this. And I'm an Aztec. And I'm an Inca. And I'm a Mayan. And I'm a Chicano. And I'm a Yucatan. But you ever consider that you went back before the Yucatans? Before the Aztecs? You ever consider that you went back before the Mayans? Before the Spaniards? Before you got to Ecuador and El Salvador? Salvador. You ever considered who you were before you got to Cuba and Dominica? It's funny, the bro, Lonzo, no, not Lonzo Ball. His name is Lonzo. He's a Cuban cat, dark skin. He played in Fast and the Furious 5. He's the one that killed Letty. But he's Cuban.
Oh,
He looks like a regular black dude, right?
yeah.
But he was even talking about it. He was breaking it down on our some radio show. I don't think it was the Breakfast Club. But he was schooling him. He was like, bro, he said, I'm black. He said, I'm black before. And obviously he's miseducated because he's not black. But, as far as his extent goes of knowing, he's like, I'm black before anything. I'm black before I'm Cuban. He said, I'm a Negro before I'm a Cuban. You Puerto Ricans, you were a Negro before you were a Puerto Rican. And he was breaking it down like, all they did was just stop the boat. Boom, 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 boom. And he said, I'm no different than the cats in America or the cats in Brazil. I'm no different. It's just different conquistadors and different language.
God.
But but even these celebrities are somewhat woke, right? But it says that we don't even consider, man. Go ahead, read on.
Sinful nation.
We're what?
Sinful nation.
You know why we don't consider? Because we're so caught up in appeasing the flesh. We're so caught up in doing negative and, oh, it feels so good. It tastes so good. Not my poke. I ain't giving it. What D.L. Hughley say? As good as the pig been to us? Y'all remember that? On Kings of Comedy?
Oh, God.
He's talking about, he was talking about stop eating pork or something. He was like, give up pork. He said, as good as the pig been to us? He was talking about during slavery. The pig ain't never been good to us. Ain't never been good to us, man. But we hang on to these things because we like them. Go ahead.
A people laden with iniquity.
Come on.
A seed of evildoers.
Read.
Children that are corrupters.
Read.
They have forsaken the Lord. They have provoked the Holy One of Israel unto anger. They are gone away backward. Why should ye be stricken anymore?
Read.
Ye will revolt more and more.
Right.
The whole head is sick.
Yeah. See, that state of desperation is because the head is sick. Starting at the top, the leaders, the elders. It said the gates, Lamentations 5:17, it says the gates thereof languish. We have the gates represent our leaders, our leadership. So who's the black, name a black leader right now. Who can? Point proven. I can name a bunch of white leaders. I can name Chinese leaders. I can name Russian leaders. I can name Arabian leaders. I can name Indian leaders. I can name African leaders. But where's the Black and Hispanic Native Indian leader? Where's the Israelites leaders? Well, it said the gates have ceased. The gates languish. When it talks about those gates, that's our leadership. That's our, think about it. Why do you gate a city? To protect it. The leaders of the people are supposed to protect us. Our priests, our kings, our elders. But it said the gates thereof languish. Why? Because they became sick and just drowned out. You know, at one time, Jesse Jackson did his thing. Sharpton, when he was fat, he was on top of it. And so we thought. So we thought. The fat Al Sharpton, we liked him, right? This skinny nigga, man, I don't know. That big head Al Sharpton, looking like somebody's auntie. I don't know about this guy. Him, and even the fat Sharpton, they got a video of him talking about doing some coke deal, right? Then they got a video of him, the fat Sharpton. He had the mustache, the cowboy hat. They called him in a hotel room, like Marion Barry. Crack deals. Oh, it's coming out. Yeah, that came out like a couple months ago. But the leadership, man, because why? The Huey P. Newtons, the Malcolm X's, the I can't even name them because I don't even care. Right. Because they haven't done nothing. Remember, no man shall buy you. They weren't going to get us out of this condition anyway. So the head is sick. Go ahead.
God, and the whole heart faint.
What?
From the sole of the foot.
It said the heart is faint. Why? Because there's no wisdom in our minds. Read.
From the sole of the foot, even unto the head,
right? There
is no soundness in it.
But the Most High hasn't given us the spirit of fear, but a sound mind. But there's no soundness in Israel, man. This is why we're in such in desperate times. Then and now. Go ahead, read on.
But wounds.
But what?
Wounds.
But wounds. We wounded. Well, how does people look at a wounded person? Like, damn, you messed up. You alright over there, buddy? Let me stay away from you because that might be contagious. And when you're wounded, you're looking at yourself, you're like, damn, man, I'm all cut up. You remember all your little scars. You're like, damn, I got that one because I did that. I got that one because I did that. But we don't even got scars. We got open wounds, man, just pouring out pus and blood and leaking, infection. Go ahead.
And bruises.
Go ahead.
And petrifying sores.
Right, they're oozing pus. Read.
They have not been closed, neither bound up, neither mollified with ointment.
Read.
Your countries is desolate.
Because it's showing us, man, that ointment. Remember, Psalms 133, he said the olive oil, he said the unity was like a precious ointment that ran down the beard, even Aaron's beard. So what is it showing here? That Israel's so far gone, we ain't got no unity.
Gone.
It said there's been no ointment. Neither mollified with ointment. No unity, man. Read verse 7.
Your countries is desolate.
What country? Nah. Read.
Your cities are burned with fire.
Come on.
Your land, strangers devour it.
Yeah, they doing it now. They ain't burning it with fire. They just in there man on man. That's what they doing. They in there just making it smell like boo-boo. All that damn butt sex. That's what they doing. Go ahead.
In your presence, and it is desolate as overthrown by strangers.
Yeah, and it's right in our presence. All we can do is sit back and watch. Like, man, y'all just gonna be over there just defiling the Holy Land? Y'all really gonna be over there talking about if Jesus was walking the earth, he just be in the Gay Day parade in Tel Aviv? Y'all really gonna say that? Y'all really gonna say Christ is white?
God.
Go ahead.
And the daughters of Zion.
What?
And the daughter of Zion is left as a cottage in a vineyard.
Read.
As a lodge in a garden of a cucumbers.
In a garden of cucumbers. Now I want you to use your imagination, man. Just getting raped. Just getting raped, man. The daughters of Zion. It said, and the daughter of Zion is like a cottage in a vineyard, as a lodge in a garden of cucumbers, as a besieged city. Use your imagination. It's getting raped and pillaged, man. That's what it is. A pincushion. Hosea 4:1. Hosea 4:1.
Hosea chapter 4 verse 1. Hear the word of the Lord, ye children of Israel.
Come on.
For the Lord hath a controversy with the inhabitants of the land.
Read.
Because there is no truth.
Because there's no what?
No truth.
Why are we in a state of desperation?
No truth.
Come on.
No mercy.
Read.
Nor knowledge of the Most High in the land.
Yeah, we're an unmerciful people, man. We'll have mercy on the white man, but be ready to take off your brother's head. You be ready to kill your brother, but the white man pull up on the block. Let them white cops pull up and shoot your neighborhood up. You duck and hide. We be ready to, brother, look at you wrong. You want to drive by on him. There's no mercy with our people. We don't have the mercy on who we should have. There's no truth in our people. And the knowledge of God is definitely gone. Go ahead, verse 2.
By swearing.
By what?
Swearing.
Come on.
And lying.
Read.
And killing.
Come on.
And stealing. And committing adultery.
They
break out. And blood touches blood.
See that? It's blood for blood, man. All these different wicked abominations and wicked sins. It's blood on blood. Because what's the penalty for these sins?
Death.
Yeah. Read on.
Therefore shall the land mourn, and every one that dwelleth therein shall languish.
They shall what?
Languish.
They shall what?
Languish.
Read.
With the beasts of the field, and with the fowls of the heaven. Yeah, the fishes of the sea also shall be taken away.
Right, man. So that's why he said the bones are very dry. It's because of the things that we gave ourselves to then, before then, now. Y'all see this? Go to Ezekiel 37:3. Ezekiel 37 and verse 3. So read verse 2 one more time. Ezekiel 37 and verse 2.
37 and verse 2. Ezekiel chapter 37. Ezekiel chapter 37 and verse 2.
Go ahead.
And curse me to pass by them around about.
And cause me.
And cause me to pass by them round about.
Right, so the Most High sent Ezekiel into the valley to deal with these dry Israelites. Read.
Behold, there were very many
verse 3.
Verse 3. And he said unto me, Son of man, can these bones live?
Yeah, the Most High said, can these bones live? What did Ezekiel say? Read.
And I answered, O Lord God, thou knowest.
He was like, only you know, Yahweh. Only you know. Go to 1 Samuel 2 and verse 6. 1 Samuel 2 and verse 6. Because when Ezekiel looked, he was like, bruh. He probably wanted to say, hell nah, these niggas is way off. Ain't no bringing them back. And you know, I'm going to say this, man. Sometimes when I walk out in these streets, man, and I look at our people, I'm like, bro, our people are finished. Jake is done. Eve, done. Right? Because it gets to a point where it's like, damn, man, enough is enough. But it ain't up to us. It ain't up to us to say that our people are done. It's up to the Most High to do his work. 1 Samuel 2 and verse 6.
1 Samuel chapter 2 verse 6. The Most High killeth and maketh alive.
Right, so the Most High kills and makes alive. Read.
He bringeth down to the grave.
He does what?
Bring it down to the grave.
Come on.
And bring it up.
Right, so that's the Most High. Read verse 7.
The Most High maketh poor.
Read.
And maketh rich.
Yeah, so if you broke as out, that's the Most High. But if you get rich, it's nothing for the Most High all of a sudden to make a poor man rich. Death and destruction is in the power of the Most High's hands. But also the ability to bind up. He said, I wound and I heal. I kill, I make alive. I do these things. So Ezekiel was like, well, you know, Lord. I don't see it. Remember, Ezekiel was in there moving around. He was like, man, I don't know. These niggas is real off. Go ahead.
He bringeth low and lifteth up.
Go to 2 Corinthians 1 and verse 9. 2 Corinthians 1 and verse 9. And just precepts to edify on the points. Precepts to edify on the points and just bring it out a little bit more. Read that. 2 Corinthians chapter 1 and verse 9.
2 Corinthians 1 verse 9. But we had the sentence of death in ourselves.
Read.
That we should not trust in ourselves.
Come on.
But in Yahweh, which raiseth the dead.
He does what?
Raiseth the dead.
Verse 10.
Who delivered us from so great a death.
The only one that was going to deliver these bones, man, and that's going to deliver these bones is the Most High. Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Read.
And doeth deliver. In whom we trust that he will yet deliver us.
Right. So it's up to the Most High, man, to remember, one man plant, one man water, the Most High give the increase. Go to Acts 26 and verse 8. Acts chapter 26 and verse 8. And you know, I haven't given up on our people, because that would be wrong. I might as well not sit up here if I've given up on our people. It's a slower rising. Says Judah is like a crouching lion who will rouse him up. He's like an old lion, old rusty lion, man. Knees hurting, everything aching. But he got to get roused up, and we just got to be patient while the awakening is happening. Read Acts 26 and verse 8.
Acts 26 verse 8.
Read.
Why should it be thought a thing incredible with you? That the Most High should raise the dead?
Yeah. Why should it be an incredible thing? Like, oh, that's so incredible. Nah, the Most High got the power to do whatever he wants. He said it. I bring down to the grave and I lift you out the grave. Ain't that what he did with Yahweh Shai? Y'all think Yahweh Shai did that himself? The Most High gave him that power, man. That's why he said it. Why should it be taught a thing incredible with you like it's some miracle? And if you want to look at that physically and spiritually, it goes both ways. Because when you look at, you might meet a person today and it might be 100% gone into the world. Drug addict, abusers of themselves, sexually immoral. And you might see them a year from now and they're in the truth. Shining, a vessel meet for the master's use. Don't be shocked that the Most High brought them from the dead. else you should be shocked about yourself. Y'all understand that y'all are the dry bones. We're the dry bones right now that are being moistened. I like that word, moistened. We're being moistened through the word. It's showing you that, man, the life that you lived in this valley of death, this dryness, it wasn't a life. You were dead. Watch, we're going to get there. Go to Ezekiel 37 and verse 4.
Come. Ezekiel 37 verse 4. Again, he said unto me, prophesy upon these bones.
Right, so teach these bones. Go ahead.
And say unto them, O ye dry bones, hear the word of the Most High.
Right, now go to Isaiah 58 and 1. Now you see why we out here. Now you get the idea of why class 4 days a week, street speaking, cable show, radio show, different schools, because we got to prophesy to these bones. It was commanded that we wake our people up. How do we do it? Isaiah 58 and verse 1.
Isaiah 58 verse 1. Cry aloud. Spare not.
Read.
Lift up thy voice like a trumpet.
Yeah, we're going to do it by crying aloud, man. We're going to be out there in the highways and the byways, yelling and screaming. We're going to sit here in class and teach and talk. And we're not going to spare the feelings because you don't understand or because you don't want to get it. We're not going to do like church and speak to you in smooth words. We're going to tell you what thus saith the Lord. Go ahead, and we're going to do what?
Lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgression.
Show them their what?
Transgression.
Wait, act like they didn't do nothing?
Transgression.
Yeah, we out here to show our people their transgressions. Not that we're better than anybody. But it says, avenging all disobedience once your obedience is fulfilled. Now, nobody's obedience will be 100% fulfilled, but somebody got to show our people where they're going off. Somebody got to be the example. Go ahead.
And the house of Israel, their sins.
Right. Go to Jeremiah 1 and 17. Jeremiah 1 and verse 17.
Jeremiah chapter 1 verse 17. Thou therefore gird up thy loins.
He do what?
Gird up thy loins.
For all you teachers out there, all you Israelite brothers that know that you're called, he said do what?
Gird up thy
Or
loins.
that are running from your calling, do what?
Gird up thy loins.
Read.
And arise.
And do what?
Arise.
No, just lay down.
Arise.
Yeah, get off your buttocks. Go ahead.
And speak unto them all that I command thee.
Come on.
Be not dismayed at their faces, lest I confound thee before them.
Read verse 18.
For, behold, I have made thee this day a defense city, and an iron pillar.
The Most High said, get up and go teach, man. I'll defend you. I made you a defense city. I put a wall around you. I got a hedge around you. Only if you do my will and my works. Read.
And a brazen wall against the whole land.
Read.
Against the kings of Judah. Against the princes thereof. Against the priests thereof.
Yeah, man. Listen, these priests and pastors and feel-good evangelists, they can't come up against the true prophets. The Most High is protecting us.
God.
Read.
And against the people of the land.
And the people, they ain't gonna come up against this word. You gonna get like I believe it says in Matthew, when you come up against the stone, it's gonna crush you. You come up against Christ, you're gonna get rolled over. Just get down or lay down.
God.
Read.
And they shall fight against thee, but they shall not prevail against thee.
Because ain't that what they do? Day in, day out, fight against this word. Oh, y'all ain't the real Jews. Oh, y'all ain't the people of the book. Why you wearing them funny clothes? Why y'all talking like that? Why y'all acting like that?
God.
Are you circumcised on the 8th day? Oh, them fake Jews will come to you like that. Like they want you to whip it out and show them. Like, bruh, you want me to pull it out for you? That's gay. I'm not doing that. But they'll straight up ask, were you circumcised? Like, bro, you asking to be about my man unit? You're asking me about my man unit? That's wrong. Go ahead.
For I with thee. For I am with thee.
Read.
Said the Lord, to deliver thee.
Go to Proverbs 3 and verse 5. Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 5.
God. Proverbs chapter 3 verse 5. Trust in the Most High with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding.
Right.
Verse 6.
Read down to verse 8. Go ahead.
In all thy ways acknowledge him.
Right. This is what we're supposed to be teaching our people. This is what we're supposed to be teaching these dry bones. Go ahead.
And he shall direct thy path.
Come on.
Be not wise in thine own eyes.
Read.
Fear the Most High and depart from evil. Verse 8. It shall be health to thy neighbor.
It shall be what?
Health to thy neighbor.
Go ahead.
And marrow to thy bone.
Right. If you don't know what marrow is, bone marrow. Bone marrow is what goes through the bones. That's the blood in the bones that keeps the bones healthy. It said that the word, that the fear of the Most High is like marrow to the bones. That's what these bones lacked. That's what we lacked as dry bones out in the world before you got into the truth. So when you look at this story, you got to look at it on a few different ways. You got to look at it from Israel's different captivities, but think about your own captivity. Because remember, before the truth, you were a bondage to this world. You were a slave to this world. You were dried up in this world. Because, I mean, really, come on. Really, let's be honest. Whose life was really that dope before the truth? Before the knowledge, come on, man, nobody's. I was thinking about last night. It was like 3 in the morning. I was up thinking. I was like, damn, I'm whack without the Bible. I'm garbo. I thought I was dope.
I did the same thing.
What's that?
I was studying my test like till 2 in the morning, and for some reason I went down on my old messages on Messenger, and I was like, what the heck? Who are these people?
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
Yeah. I don't know why I was thinking. I was rapping with this brother from Colorado, this brother Demaya Gabar. We were texting, and we were just talking about some old stuff. And then I was hitting him with a few scriptures, and he's like, man, it's crazy what you out there doing, and da 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 da. And I was like, bro, you can do the same thing. You got the same wisdom and knowledge I got. You just got to use it. Then I was thinking like, damn, I was garbage without the scriptures, without the wisdom. I was trash, but I really thought my life was dope. I really thought I was on. And I look now and I'm like, man, the wisdom and what it gives you, the ability to go through things and deal with things and handle things on a level you would never believe. It's crazy. And I'm just like, damn, Barakatah Yahweh, because without it, bro, we be sissies and crybabies and mama's boys and getting ran over by our women and just simp Negroes. That's what we would be. That's what we would be without this wisdom, man. We'd just be damn Americans and getting rolled over by the system. Yes, sir.
I have a precept.
Yes, you do.
That goes well with that goes right well with that Jeremiah that
what you got?
And he's reading where it talks about the loins, girding up your loins.
Yeah, what you
got? Ephesians 6, verse 14, it says, stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth.
Have your loins with what?
Girt about with truth.
Come on, read.
And having on the breastplate of righteousness. And your feet shod with the preparation
of the gospel.
Of the gospel of peace.
Go ahead.
Above all, taking the shield of faith.
And the helmet of. Go ahead.
Wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked.
God. But that's what we got to do daily, man. We got to gird up our loins like a man. And you women, you got to gird up your womanly loins. Y'all got woman loins. Right? When you read in the Maccabees and it says she girded up, she I want to get it now. It's in 2 Maccabees 7, man. She said that she, where is it at? It says she girded up her, with a womanish stomach. What is it? Oh, man. I'm butchering it. It's 2 Maccabees 7. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, she exhorted. Here it is, 2 Maccabees 7:21. It says, yea, I read verse 20. But the mother was marvelous above all and worthy of honorable memory. Now, this is a woman that watched 7 of her sons be slain in the course of a day because they didn't want to eat pork. They was thrown right in the fire, just like Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego. It said, but the mother was marvelous above all and worthy of honorable memory. For when she saw her 7 sons slain in the space of one day, she bare it with good courage because of the hope that she had in the Most High. Yea, she exhorted every one of them in her own language, which was the Hebrew, filled with courageous spirits. So she didn't sit there cry, my baby, why? She didn't do all that. And stirring up her womanish thoughts with a manly stomach, she said unto them, womanish thoughts with a manly stomach. Gird up them loins, man. That's what we got. That's what we're called to do. Go to Ezekiel 2 and verse 3. Ezekiel 2 and 3. Damn. 5, 6, 7.
Ezekiel chapter 2 verse 3.
Alright, let's go.
And he said unto me, Son of man, I send thee to the children of Israel.
Right.
To a rebellious nation.
To a what?
Rebellious nation.
And ain't we rebellious now? Don't they turn the shoulder now? You be like, look, mom, let me show you this. No, I don't want to hear that, son. That's wrong. That ain't what I was taught in my church. That ain't what my pastor said. We're a what?
Rebellious nation.
Come on.
That has rebelled against me.
Come on.
They and their fathers have transgressed against me, even unto this very day.
Even until today. Read verse 4.
For they are impudent children, and stiff-hearted.
Right.
I do send thee unto them.
But we still gotta go to them. We still gotta prophesy to these bones. Read.
And thou shalt say unto them, Thus said the Lord God. And they, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear.
So whether they hear it or forbear it, whether they hear it or reject it, we gotta what? Prophesy to these bones. Read.
For they are a rebellious house. Yet shall know that there hath been a prophet among them.
Why? Because how you know you got a prophet? When he speaks, things happen. Things come to pass. A lot of brothers and sisters, man, they don't understand they got prophets among them. And we tell y'all, don't do this because da-da-da. And y'all like, yeah, I'm good. And you make that move and you should be clicking in your head like, damn, I had a prophet amongst me. Brother was prophesying on my life. A wise man foreseeth the evil. This is that simple. Go back to Ezekiel 37 and verse 5. Ezekiel 37 and verse 5.
Ezekiel chapter 37 verse 5.
Right. Read verse 4 again.
Verse 4. Again he said unto me, prophesy upon these bones.
Read.
And say unto them, O ye dry bones, hear the word of the Most High.
Right.
Thus saith the Most High power unto these bones.
Read.
Behold, I will cause breath to enter into you, and ye shall live.
And he shall what?
Live.
Now, what does that breath represent?
The word.
The word, but there's another word.
Life. Or,
Holy Spirit.
Y'all are close. But it's a specific thing. It's specific. Because we all got the word. We all got the word right here, but we all don't have the byproduct of the word.
The knowledge.
The understanding.
The understand? No.
Knowledge.
No.
Wisdom.
Can.
Was it air?
It's not air.
So we
No, it's wisdom. Go to Genesis. Go to Genesis chapter 2 and verse 7. So we're going to break down two things here. We're going to break down what this breath, he said, I will cause breath to enter into you. Now, if anybody was here for the Genesis 2 breakdown, we understand that to break down what that breath is, we got to go to Genesis 2 and verse 7. Read that.
Genesis chapter 2 verse 7.
Go ahead.
And the Most High power formed man of the dust of the ground.
So we're going through this story, and I hope what y'all are seeing is not now a valley of bones, but this valley is a bunch of You know what it is? You know what the valley is now? What is the valley? All you gotta do is just walk down the block. That's the valley.
Right.
All you gotta do is just walk to Fiesta and look at the niggas on the corner selling drugs. Those are the dry bones in the valley. They're not completely dead per se, but they're spiritually dead. So when you look at this story, it's like, oh, Ezekiel wasn't just walking by bones and carcasses of dead animals. Nah, he was walking by Israelites that were dried up, no spirit. Just like we were before we got the wisdom. So read Genesis chapter 2 and verse 7.
And the Most High power formed man of the dust of the ground.
Right, so let's deal with this dust. Now we know the breath is the wisdom. The dust, what does that equal? Or what does that represent? Who knows? Huh?
The body.
No.
Filthy mindset.
No. Read it. He said he formed man from the dust of the ground. Go ahead. Read on, Major.
Come. And breathed into his nostrils the breath of life. And man became a living soul.
Right. So let's deal with this dust of the ground. Go to Psalms 113 and 7. The dust represents a lower state. The dust represents a lower state of being.
Psalms chapter 113 verse 7. He raised up the poor out of the dust.
Out of the what?
Out of the dust.
Come on.
And lifted the needy out of the dunghill.
Read.
That he may set him with princes. Even with the princes of his people.
Right. Y'all see that? Go to Isaiah 47 and verse 1. So the dust represents this lower state. So what you will put is, in Ezekiel 37 and verse 5, you will put breath equals the wisdom. Genesis 2 and 7, dust, that equals a lower state. And then we're going to go back to the wisdom and break down the wisdom part. Go to Isaiah 47 and verse 1. Somebody else get Isaiah 26 and 5.
Isaiah chapter 47 and verse 1.
Go ahead.
Come down and sit in the dust. O virgin, daughter of Babylon.
Go ahead.
Sit on the ground.
Sit on the what?
Ground.
Right. So that dust bringing somebody down to that lowest state. Read on.
Come. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans.
Right.
For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate.
Right. So you see how the Most High was telling the Chaldeans and the Babylonians to come sit on the ground, come up off that throne, come off that higher state into a lower state. Right. So when you read in Genesis about the serpent, and he said that he commanded him to go on his belly, right, and slither on the dust of the ground, he was cursing the serpent to a lower state. Isaiah 26 and 5. Y'all with me so far?
Come.
Kim, you with me? Jocelyn? Come. Go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 26 verse 5. For he bringeth down them that dwell on high.
Come on.
The lofty city.
The what?
The lofty city.
Read.
He led it low. He led it low. Even to the ground.
Read.
He bringeth it even to the dust.
To the what?
To the dust.
Right. Go to 1 Samuel 2 and verse 8. Somebody else get Ecclesiasticus 11 and verse 1. 1 Samuel 2 and verse 8. I am going to pick up the speed a little bit. I want this all to be in one class. Because I don't want to break it up. I want it to be in one class. We almost there. It ain't a lot. 1 Samuel 2 and verse 8.
1 Samuel 2 verse 8.
He
raiseth up the poor out of the dust.
Read.
And lifteth up the beggar from the dunghill.
Right. So, wait a minute.
Is that 1 Samuel?
Yeah. That reiterates Psalms. You can just write that down, but that reiterates what we just read in Psalms. But go ahead, read it again. Read it.
To set them among princes. And to make them inherit the throne of glory.
Right. You see that? Go to Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha, chapter 11 and verse 1. So we're seeing that this dust represents a low state, a lower state. So the Most High said he formed man out of the dust out of the ground, and he breathed breath into his nostrils, and he became a living soul. Now, why is that important? Because when you look at Adam, when you look at the creation story, Adam was created on what day? The people were created on what day? Who knows? The seventh day was rest.
Oh yeah, 6.
What day was it? It was the 5th day. That's when man was created. But when did he become a living soul? On the 6th day. The 5th day he was created. The 6th day the Most High breathed the breath into him. You see that? So it go, when you look at that story, it can go deep. It can go deep, but not too deep. Because think about it. I ain't gonna go there. But the 5th day, man was created. The 6th day, the Most High gave Adam the wisdom. Y'all get that? Right. So Ecclesiastes 11 and verse 1. That's why he said he became a living soul. So guess what? Before you got the wisdom, you weren't living. Read Ecclesiastes 11 and verse 1 more time.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 11 verse 1. Wisdom lifted up the head of him that is of low degree.
What does?
Wisdom lifted up the head of him that is of low degree.
Come on.
And making him to sit among great men.
Right, so now you can put breath equals wisdom equals life. Breath, so right under Ecclesiastes 1, you can put 11 and 1, it says wisdom lift up the head. Because the whole thing we're reading, he said he lift up the head of him, he lift him up out of the dunghill, he lift him out of the dust, right? But really, what is it? Is it the Most High putting his hand out of heaven and pulling you up? No. He's telling us how you get pulled up out of a lower state. Wisdom does it, which is the breath. So wisdom, the breath equals wisdom, which equals life. Watch. Go back to Genesis 2 and verse 7. Go back to Genesis 2 and verse 7. You don't have to write it down, but just go back there. Read it.
Genesis chapter 2 verse 7. And the Most High power formed man of the dust.
Right, so he took man out of a lower state. Read.
Of the ground. And breathed into his nostrils the breath of life.
Right, so the 5th day, created man, pulled him out of a lower state. On the 6th day, he breathed what?
Life.
Read it again. And
breathed into his nostrils the breath of life.
Right. Read on.
And man became a living soul.
And man became a what?
A living soul.
So he breathed into him the breath of life. And man became a living soul. So that's showing you that before wisdom, we weren't living, man. Before this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, watch, go to Wisdom of Solomon 7:22. I'm going to show you. Before this wisdom, you weren't living. You were dying. You were dying a slow death. Boop, boop, boop. Right? You were dying slow, man. Start at Wisdom of Solomon 7. Yeah. Yep. 7 and 22.
God, for wisdom, which is the work of all things, taught me.
Right.
For in her is an understanding spirit.
Now, if he had to breathe the wisdom for us to live, what is it showing you? That these bones, these dry Israelites, us as dry bones at one time, we didn't possess these characteristics that we're going to go through and show. These are the characteristics of wisdom. It says wisdom is the what?
Understanding spirit.
It says wisdom is the worker of all things. And it taught us. Wisdom taught us how to live. Go ahead. It says in her is an understanding spirit. So now you understand creation and death and life and things on earth. Go ahead.
Holy.
It was what?
Holy.
Washed, cleansed, and set apart. So wisdom is supposed to be holy. What else?
One only.
One only. So wisdom gave us the capability to be focused, one track minded, right? On a task. These were the things that you lacked before the wisdom. You didn't know how to be one-track minded. You procrastinated. Or you was double-minded. Or you got caught up in every little thing. Everything that came your way. I want to try that. I want to see that. I want to do that. Next thing you know, you got a bunch of tasks that you don't know how to complete. But check this out. Read.
Manifold.
It's what?
Manifold.
Wait, but how can it be both? How can it be one only but then manifold? Meaning, now wisdom gave you the ability to multitask but be efficient. Y'all see this? These are the characteristics of wisdom. These were the characteristics that the dry bones in Ezekiel's time, those people, they didn't have. These are the things that our people lack. This is what you lacked before you got the truth. Go ahead.
S.O.W.
It was what?
S.O.W.
Yeah, man. Wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove. Not lacking discernment and discretion, but subtle. Go ahead.
Lively.
What?
Lively.
Wait, slow and docile.
Lively.
Monotone.
Lively.
Just autopilot.
Lively.
Yeah, man. Because why? St. John 6:63 is the spirit that quickeneth. The flesh profiteth nothing. The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life. Go ahead.
Clear.
What?
Clear.
Wait, all confused.
Clear.
Clear. Wisdom is clear. Wisdom can be clearly uttered and clearly understood. Understanding much in few words. The Most High is not the author of confusion, but of peace. Clarity, man. You gotta pick. Listen, you get a certain clarity with wisdom. It says oppression make a wise man mad. Right? Why? Because now he's clear on his estate. Now he considers what he's going through. When you ain't wise, you don't care. You just like, it's just another day. Wake and bake, get drunk, go back to sleep. But wisdom gives you the ability to examine things and say, wow, now I get it. This is what we lacked. Go ahead.
Undefiled.
It's what?
Undefiled.
Right, because to the pure, because wisdom is pure. And to the pure, all things are pure. But to the non-believing is nothing pure because their conscience is defiled. It's Titus 1:16. Undefiled, go ahead.
Plain.
Is what?
Plain.
Go ahead.
Not subject to hurt.
Ooh, you know why I like that? That not subject to hurt. Because wisdom puts you in a place where you can avoid certain hurts. And this is not just a hurt like, I stubbed my toe hurt, but this is a hurt on a physical, spiritual, mental level, where the comfort of the scriptures, we have hope. Romans 15:4. Through comfort of the scriptures, right? You shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. St. John 7:38. St. John 8:32, excuse me. There's a freedom with wisdom. There's no hurt there. There's no pain. Right? It wasn't herb or mollifying plaster that restored them to health, but thy word, O Lord. Right? Go ahead.
Loving the thing that is good.
Come on.
Quick.
You see, and wisdom is going to lead you to the thing that's good. Because you have a clear understanding of, I know I have a free will to choose what I want. When Moses said, choose you this day, life or death, and niggas chose death, did they really understand what they was choosing? They had a part of an understanding that they had free will. But they really didn't understand that maybe I should choose good because that's what's going to promote life. They didn't have wisdom. When you choose death, you're destitute of wisdom. Go ahead.
Which cannot be let.
It can't be stopped. You can't stop wisdom. You can't put a cap on wisdom. The Most High said you ask, he'll give it to you liberally. All you got to do is ask. Go ahead.
Ready to do good.
Ready to what?
Do good.
Ready to cause some problems.
Do good.
Confusion.
Do good.
Pain.
Do good.
Hurt.
Do good.
Go down to verse 25. Now we understand the characteristics of wisdom. Now we're going to understand why it was able to lift a man out of a low estate and what it was. Verse 22, read. No, 25.
God, for she is the breath of the power of the Most High.
You see that? She's the breath of the power of the Most High. So So when it said that he breathed breath into Adam and he became a living soul, when it said when it said in Ezekiel, behold, I will cause breath to enter and he shall live. He said, I'm going to give y'all wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. I'm going to give y'all these characteristics. Go ahead.
And a pure influence.
And a what?
Pure influence.
See, there's no defilement here. This is pure. Wisdom is pure. The wisdom of the Most High, that is. Because we know the wisdom of the world is wickedness with the Most High. It's foolishness. Go ahead.
Flowing from the glory of the Almighty. Therefore, can no defiled thing fall into her.
And that's why it says wisdom will not enter into a malicious spirit or a body subject to sin, because the two don't mix. You can't be defiled and trying to get wisdom. So, weed smokers, you're not wise. Pill poppers, you're not wise. I don't care how many scriptures you got and you fornicating. I don't care how many scriptures you got and you committing adultery. I don't care how much scriptures you got and you got murderous thoughts. It don't matter how much scriptures you got. Wisdom does not enter into you. You got to kill that. All right. From there, go to. So y'all get that, right? Go to Job 33 and verse 4. And this is going to sum it up also. Go to Job 33 and verse 4. It's going to show you that man has a soul because we're all born with a soul. But were we all born with wisdom and created with wisdom? No, that has to be put into us. Job 33 and 4.
Job chapter 33 verse 4.
And get 2 Ezra 16 and 61. Read.
The Spirit of the Most High hath made me.
Come on.
And the breath of the Almighty hath given me life.
You see that? The wisdom is what gives us life. I don't care where you come from. If you don't operate in this wisdom, in this knowledge, and in this understanding, there's no life in you. There's no light in you. Go to 2 Ezra 16:61. Somebody else get Wisdom of Solomon 15 and verse 11. I'm going to repeat them. Read where you at.
2 Ezra chapter 16 verse 61.
Come on.
He made man.
Read.
And put his heart in the midst of the body.
Right. He gave man. He made him. He put the heart in the middle of his body. But does the heart think for you?
Wow.
Hell no. That just pumps Kool-Aid. Your heart pumps Kool-Aid. The heart just pumps the blood, man. That's why it says the heart is desperately wicked. Because your heart, the muscle with the 4 ventricles, it don't think. So he put a heart in the middle of the body, where at 2 Ezra 16:61. Go ahead.
And gave him breath.
He gave him what?
Breath.
He gave him wisdom. Read.
Life. And understanding.
So he gave him the characteristics of wisdom. Because he said in wisdom is the worker of all things that taught me, for in her is an understanding spirit. Now go to Wisdom of Solomon 15 and verse 11.
Wisdom of Solomon 15 verse 11.
Come on.
For as much as he knew not his maker, and him that inspired into him an active soul.
So this is talking about Adam. He had an active soul, but what did he lack? Read.
And breathed in a living spirit.
You see that? That active soul had to be, it was the wisdom. Before that, you were just dry bones. You were just dried up, decayed, dehydrated, like a dehydrated turd, man. That's what we were. But the wisdom is, remember, it said in wisdom is lively. So it said in him, he gave him an active soul, but how? Through the breath. Go to 2 Maccabees 7:23. Oh yeah, we're gonna get through this. Woo, I like it. An hour. Just wanted to put this all in one video, man. I hate breaking classes like this up. 2 Maccabees 7:23.
Come. 2 Maccabees 7 and verse 23. But doubtless the creator of the world, who formed the generation of man.
He did what?
Formed the generation of man.
Right, read.
And found out the beginning of all things.
Come on.
Will also of his own mercy give you breath and life again.
He'll do what?
Give you breath and life again.
Yeah, he'll give you wisdom and life, man. Because that's what wisdom brings. It brings you into life. The scriptures say wisdom buildeth the house. It says wisdom has hewn down her pillars and set her table and mingled her wine and slain her beasts. That's living, man. Go ahead.
As ye now regard not your also
Not your own selves.
So like,
Uh-huh.
as ye now regard not your own selves for his law's sake.
Right. Go back to Ezekiel 37 and verse 5. Now y'all are understanding this, right?
Come.
Let's go back to Ezekiel 37 and verse 5.
Come. Ezekiel 37 verse 5. Thus saith the Most High, Yahweh, unto these bones, behold, I will cause breath to enter into you.
Right, so I'll cause wisdom to enter into you. Read.
And ye shall live.
And ye shall what?
Live.
Right, and now you're going to live. Read on.
And I will lay sinews.
And I will lay what?
Sinews.
Sinews, go ahead.
Upon you.
Read.
And will bring up flesh upon you.
Right.
And cover you with skin.
Uh-huh.
And put breath in you.
Right.
And put wisdom in you.
No, read this breath.
Okay.
Go ahead.
And ye shall live.
Uh-huh.
And ye shall know that I am the Most High.
Who knows what sinews are? Sinews. All right, I got a definition for sinews. Sinews, now, if you look at the human anatomy, sinews is what holds tendon to bone. What holds bones to muscle. So sinews are tendons.
It's like if you were so for example like rib like T-bone steak, that when you pull the meat from, it's like that kind of like slimy white.
Yeah, that's a tendon. All it is a tendon.
But that's not the sinew.
That's what it is. There's another name for it. A sinew. Watch. In anatomy, a tendon, that which unites muscle to bone. Because if you break the tendon, you can't flex. Like the only way you can flex a bicep, you got a bicep, you got tries. But you flex one way to bring out the bi, you flex another way to bring out the tri. But the way it happens is you got tendons in your elbow, you got tendons in your shoulders, you got tendons that attach to the bones. When those tendons are ripped, like you ever see a person rip their forearm? Ray Lewis tore his forearm from the bone. Those tendons ripped. Or a cat will tear his thigh, you're tearing it from the bone. So now the muscle's dead, it can't contract. It needs those tendons, those sinews. So listen, he said, I'm going to put sinews on you. Right? Now, I'm going to give you, so we know it in anatomy, that's what it is. They're tendons. They help the bone, the muscle contract. It unites them. Right?
God.
It says strength, or rather that which supplies strength. So when he said, I'm going to put sinews on you, what do y'all think the sinews represent? It's symbolic for something. What are the sinews?
Is it like understanding?
No.
The truth.
Close. The sinews are the law, man.
Like that.
The sinews are the law. It said the thing that supplies strength. The sinews are the law. So you can put sinews equal law. See, the sinews were the law that should have brought us closer to the Most High. That's what, because ain't that why we fell away from the Most High? The Most High is our power. The law, the closeness of the law, the closer we are to the law, the more powerful we are. So he said, I'm going to lay sinews on you. I'm going to give you the law. That's going to bring you closer to me. Y'all get it? And he said, I'm going to put skin on you. And I will bring up flesh upon you and skin. Now, what does the flesh and skin represent? So he gives us, he gave us the law, statutes, and commandments. Right? What was taken away from us? Was it just the law, statutes, and commandments? What was taken from us?
Understanding.
Go back to Isaiah real quick. Go back to Isaiah 1. Go back to Isaiah 1. back to Isaiah 1. Read verse. Actually, no. I don't like that one. The skin and the flesh represent our nationality and our heritage, our customs. So the sinews were the law, because think about it. And when I go through these precepts, it's going to make a lot more sense. It's going to make a lot more sense. But the sinews were the law. Now, and the skin equal our nationality, our heritage, our custom. Go to Isaiah 52 and verse 1. Read that. Isaiah 52 verse 1. Shalom, brethren. If time permits, could you explain or reference the Most High power? I'm not understanding that question. You might have to, sis, Angela Wilson, can you reword your question? I'm not understanding what you're trying to ask. I'm sorry. And then if we got time, we can get to it. Isaiah 52 and verse 1.
Isaiah 52 verse 1.
Go ahead.
Awake!
Uh-huh.
Put on thy strength.
Put on thy what?
Strength.
What was he telling us here? He was like, wake the hell up, man. Put on your strength. Get back to the laws, the statutes, the commandments. Read.
Zion.
Read.
Put on thy beautiful garments.
Yeah, because the garments was part of our what? Our law. It's part of our heritage. It's part of our customs. Read on.
O Jerusalem. The holy city. For henceforth there shall no more come into thee the uncircumcised.
Because circumcision was part of our custom. It was part of the law. Y'all see this? Go ahead.
And the unclean.
Right. Go back to Ezekiel 37 and verse 7. Read verse 6 one more time. Ezekiel 37 and verse 6.
Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 6.
Read.
And I will lay sinews upon you.
So I'm going to give you the law. Come on.
And will break up flesh upon you.
Right.
And cover you with skin.
So I'm going to give you the law, statutes, commandments. I'm going to give you your heritage, your nationality. I'm going to make that all be known to you. The way you dress, the way you talk, your language, your customs. Go ahead.
And put breath in you.
Read.
And ye shall live.
And I'm going to give you wisdom to be able to do all these things so you can live prosperous. Read verse 7.
So I prophesied as I was commanded.
Come on.
And as I prophesied, there was a noise. And behold, a shaking. And the bones came together. Bone to his bone.
Now, the Most High, when did the truth start to be known here in America? It was around 1969 where the truth started to come out. So now we got to go into time with this. The truth started to come out here in America around the 60s, right? So he gave us the wisdom. He gave us the understanding of our nationality, of our customs. He said, read verse 7 one more time.
So I prophesied as I was commanded. And as I prophesied, there was a noise.
And so the bones started to make noise. Read.
And behold, a shaking.
Right? So the bones start to shake. Right? What was going on during the 60s, 70s?
Black and I'm proud.
Black power, brown pride. Right? You had the civil rights marches. The bones started to wake up. That was the most active we were as a people ever up until this point. Them bones start making noise, man. You had the Malcolm X's, the Huey P's, right? You had Bloods, you had Crips, right? That's when Islam really started to take off for the black man. Malcolm X was the spearhead of that. The bones was rattling, man. They were, you had WIC programs. Bloods and Crips, if you didn't know, they were good. They were good at first. They were built for the community to protect the community against the cops and the corruption. But then they got greedy and wicked. And the scripture is really going to bring that out. The bones start rattling, start making noise. No justice, no peace by any means necessary, right?
Gone.
But is that what the Most High wanted? Because he gave us the nationality. He gave us the wisdom. He gave us the law. But what did we do? See, he gave us the covering, right? You had the Black Panthers at that time. Black Panthers was big. The Huey P's and the Fina Shakors and the you even had like the Che Guevara's, Angela Davis's, Gil Scott Heron's. Gil Scott Heron. I like that dude actually. America's a bastard. He going in. I like him. I like Gil Scott. I was sad when he died. But you had all these different and there's so many Black Power movements. Bro, I can't even name half them cats. There were so many of them because now we making this noise, man. Now we rattling and waking up and they coming to life. They coming to life. Right? Read verse 8.
And when I beheld, lo, the sinews and the flesh came upon them. And the skin covered them.
Right? So they got the sinews, they got the skin. Everything came together. But what? Read.
But there was no breath in them.
There was no what?
Breath in them.
See, we came together under Black Panthers. We came together under Crips and Bloods. We came together under Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, America's military. Because even at that time, there was a big military push, right? Sending all the bros to Vietnam, right? We came together, but it said there was no what?
Breath in them.
There was no wisdom in us, man. Why do you think all those things failed? Why do you think the Black Panther Party, really? They all got infiltrated by the FBI. Why do you think Marcus Garvey, the Pan-African movement, infiltrated by the FBI? Malcolm X killed. Martin Luther killed by the FBI. Jesse Jackson, loving white women. Al Sharpton, crackhead. All these things happened because there was no wisdom. Because you know what we lacked? Because some of us was like, oh yeah, you know what? I'm going to follow the Bible, but I'm going to be a Christian. Or I'm going to follow the Bible because what are the two greatest commandments? What does the law hang on? What two things? Love the Most High with all your heart, or love your neighbor as yourself. Now, a lot of people love their neighbor as themselves, but they didn't love the Most High with all their heart. Because why? I do love my brother. Brown pride, right? I love my Mexican brother. But I don't understand the Most High and His will. Right. So the things didn't really nothing came together under this umbrella of wisdom. It came together under Black Power, Brown pride, Islam, Christianity. Y'all see this? Read on.
Then said he.
No. Hold on. So that's verse 8, right? So go to Isaiah 30 and verse 1 because this is what we did. Instead of covering with the law of the Most High and covering ourselves and falling under that umbrella, we covered with everything else and thinking that's what the Most High wanted. Remember, when the apostles came to Christ and said, are you at this time going to restore the kingdom of heaven back to Israel? He said, now is not the time to fight, basically. He said, if the time was for our kingdom, then will my servants fight. But then you have Malcolm X talking about no justice, no peace by any means necessary. Hold up with machine guns like we're going to fight the enemy. But that's not what the Most High wanted. He wanted you to learn who you were, not be a Muslim. So we put on a covering, but we was putting on the Babylonian garments. We was putting on the Egyptian wear. We was putting on the hijabs and the turbans, right? You wasn't throwing on your Israelite garments with your borders of blue and fringes. We were putting on the kimonos. We were putting on everybody else's nationality, and putting on the suit and tie, right? The skinny tie or the bow tie. That's what we were doing. Read that, Isaiah 30 and 1.
Isaiah 30, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
Woe to the rebellious children.
Because why? What were we? Read it again.
Rebellious children.
Just like in Ezekiel's time, man. The Most High said they're a stiff-hearted people. They stiff-necked as hell. So when brothers was bringing out this wisdom back in the 60s, and you have, because you have Martin Luther King, you have Malcolm, and you definitely have brothers teaching on them corners. Like, nah, you ain't no damn African, you ain't this, you ain't that, you an Israelite. What was going on with our people? Read it again.
Woe to the rebellious children.
They rebelled, man. We were rebellious. Even today, when we out there like, brother, wake up. Sis, wake up. You an Israelite. You ain't Kemet. You ain't spiritual. You ain't Christian, Muslim, Seventh-day Adventist, Jehovah's Wickedness. You ain't none of that. You ain't 5%er, Asiatic, Afrocentric, beauty queen. You ain't Nefertiti. We sit there and tell them, they're like, nah, nigga, I don't want to hear that. That Bible was written by a white man. Ain't that what they say? How you gonna read that Bible written by a white man? Because why?
Woe to the rebellious children.
Go ahead.
Saith the Most High.
Read.
That take counsel, but not of me.
Yeah, because you'll counsel with the white man's knowledge. You'll counsel at his schools and at his universities and counsel with his knowledge, but what you won't go to the Most High and get his counsel. Read.
But not of me. And that cover with a covering.
And you'll cover with the white man's society and the white man's way of doing things. You'll take that covering. You'll cover with Esau's way, with his suit, with his tie, with his Christmas. You'll cover up with Easter. Go ahead.
But not of my spirit.
But you won't put on the spirit of Passover. You won't put on the spirit of real charity, real love, real sacrifice. Because of that rebellion in us, man. Go ahead.
That they might add sin to sin.
And what do we do?
Add sin to sin.
Yeah, because all you did was add Islam onto some Christianity. Sin to sin. Well, yeah, I'm part of Islam. See, we don't eat pork, but you eat shrimp and crab. So now you're serving somebody else's religion and still eating bad. We added sin to sin. Read on.
That walk to go down into Egypt.
Yeah, man, because even at that time, we want to run to Egypt. We want to run in here in America and be Americans. We want to assimilate, Martin Luther King. Segregation, right? Let's be Americans. I have a dream that one day my little black boy can drink water with a white boy. That's what you dreamt, my nigga. That's what you dreamt, that I could go piss in a bathroom where they don't wash their hands. I can go pee with people that are going to be cross-dressers and transgender. That's what you dreamt? Wow. That must have been a damn nightmare.
To expound on that, yeah, all this that he did, he still got his house bombed. Martin Luther King.
Yup. Oh, yeah. And the white man still killed him. Mm-hmm. And then he had to come back and realize, he said it, I think I've segregated my people into a burning house. Because then he was seeing how filthy the white man was. He was like, whoa, wait a minute. I done led my people to the wolves, man. Segregation was the best thing that ever happened to black people in America. That was the best thing that ever happened. Like, keep us separate, nigga. We got our own water fountains, own bathrooms, so no little white boy can walk up in there. Come on, man. You know how many little kids that have been raped in bathrooms? Oh, yeah. Or snatched out of bathrooms? But Martin Luther King had a dream that we can go piss with the white man. Like, bruh, they pee in troughs. You ever go to like a ball stadium? You ever go to a baseball stadium and look at their bathroom? It looks like one big urinal. So they can all look at each other's slums. It's gay. The white man don't put bathroom dividers. He likes that. He just have a urinal so you can just look, so he can peep over at you and see what you're working with. Gay. What's up?
Two things. One was when I was 9, living in Ohio, I was almost kidnapped by a white couple. Old, like 50, 60, and 2 was...
Want some of that shoot.
And, okay, so second was when we opened up at Memorial.
God.
went on a bathroom break, and then I'm seeing some Asian dude. He's at the urinal, but his body's not at the urinal. He's like right next to the side of the urinal. I'm seeing him
peeping over at somebody's.
He's looking at another guy, and I said, "Hey man, because it was a line for the urinals. I was trying to use the restroom, so I'm like, hey,
foul.
Use the restroom? oh.
Right.
So the cover.
Bro.
And so then, after the guy that he was looking at started washing his hands, I'm like, man, look, this guy's still not even using the urinal. Like his body's not right there. I said he was actually looking at you, and there was an Edomite that was getting stared at, getting his meat stared at. And
bro.
He just shook his head, just kind of threw his arms up, and then I started talking to the Asian dude that was doing it. I'm like, man, look, why are you doing that? And he just said, oh.
Bro, I remember that happened to me. I flipped out one time, bro. The cat was literally like in the urinal. His face was. I was like, whoa, what are you doing? Oh, and he said, bro. He said that he was definitely gay. He said something like. He said something like trying to see what you working with, or.
Yeah, he would have got kicked.
Bro.
He would have got kicked.
Bro, I just had to. Just chalk it up to Edom and faggotry in America.
Another thing, my brother was using this. He was in the. He was taking a dump. So my brother, he said a guy stuck his whole hand underneath, because you know if you do that, you got to be really low.
Yeah.
No, my brother didn't kick him. He kicked the dude just.
Bah!
In his face.
I would have. That right there is violation.
Another story.
Damn, you got a lot. Bathroom confessions.
My uncle in LA, he was at the bowling alley. So after he bowled, he had a few drinks, go to the restroom. A dude look over. Man, my uncle, he hit him so hard, the dude's tooth was stuck in his
fist.
Knuckle.
Damn.
Broke the whole urinal off the wall. Like,
wow.
The impact of the hit, and then the dude falling, hitting the urinal, broke the whole urinal off the floor.
Damn.
It's like,
yeah, bro, but Esau, they do that. They're like, yeah, we're gonna build a bathroom with no privacy. Everybody's just meat on meat. It's terrible. But these are the things that we were integrated into, and read where you at. Verse 2.
Verse 2. That walked to go down into Egypt, and have not asked at my mouth.
See, we didn't ask the Most High what we should do and how we should go. We just took it upon ourselves like stiff-necked, rebellious children. I'm going to just go where I want. Go ahead.
To strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh.
And ain't that what our people do now? You trying to strengthen yourself in the strength of Trump? In the strength of politics? Like, I'm going to vote my way out of it. Vote or die? Are you mad? Your vote don't... Man, listen. Vote or die. You see where that got you. That got you a gay parade. That got you a gay month. That's what Vote or Die did. When Diddy was talking about Vote or Die back in, 2008? That's when he started that. Against Bush? Vote or Die? Yeah, you voted and you got us death. Because now we got gay month. They give you a gay month, a gay parade on Gay Father's Day. And you have the father with his son out there looking at some man with his meat swing. With a dog mask on, with another man on a leash. That's what you voted for. I would have rather died. That's what we voted for. We went down and asked counsel of Pharaoh, man. Go ahead.
And to trust in the shadow of Egypt.
Yeah, you want to trust in the valley of the shadow of death? How you going to trust in death? How you going to trust in slavery? Because our people, even back in the wilderness, Moses, what'd you do, man? You brought us out here to starve. You brought us out here to die of thirst. We were better off in Egypt with the flesh pots and with the onions and with the leeks. And we were better off with that. We want to trust in the shadow of death and slavery and bondage. You see what Egypt is about. This Sodom and Egypt. It's about raping that spirit. It's about you building this society. Read on.
Verse 3.
Uh-huh.
Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame.
It shall be your what?
Your shame.
Yeah, to the point where you believe so much in this. I remember I was watching it. The chick that got harassed by the Old Navy employee, Jamaican chick, man. They up there in Canada, and the chick grabbed her like, "Man, you gotta come with me because you stole your shirt you got on." This chick went off. She's like, "I can't believe this. I never thought this would happen to me." Like, you black? What the hell? Like, you ain't exempt because you got a little. She was like, "I got a job and I pay taxes." You trusting in taxes, thinking that because you pay taxes that you ain't gonna get falsely accused? Oh, and they falsely accused her. They went through the camera, they lied and was like, "Yeah, we got you on camera putting the shirt on." She was like, "No, you don't." All because she don't take the tags off her clothes. She left the tag on. But the shoes she had on, she left the tag on. The pants she had on, she left the tag on. She bought them the day before. Showed them the receipt, crapped on all of them. Like, yeah, the receipt's right here. And all the stuff. And then she had the bag of stuff that she bought the day before she was exchanging. Because the sizes or something like that. But she's trusting in the fact that she pays taxes and she's a hard-working citizen and she's Jamaican, but she got a little white accent. She's trusting in those things, but look, they put her ass to shame. Go ahead.
Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame. And the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion.
Right, because Egypt is about the flesh. So they were strong of flesh. So now you confused because you don't even know how to attain spirit, man. Just like America. You get caught up in the whirlwind of America. It's confusion. It's transgender. It's gender identification syndrome. It's pedophilia. It's let's lower the age of consent to 10. It's let's get you high and keep you docile. It's confusion. Well, we know the pig is garbage, but that's going to be a delicacy. We know shrimps, crabs, and lobster are the family of roaches, but that's going to be a delicacy. And then if you get a blue one, you're really in luck. That's a 1 in a million. Y'all heard about that? They found that blue lobster. They said it was like 1 in 10 million. I'm like, the nigga's probably blue because he's tainted with something. He probably got so much iodine and mercury in him. But yeah, that's a delicacy. You butter him up, snap his neck, you hit him with a hammer. You Chef Ramsay him. Chef Ramsay tell you how to get all the meat out of a lobster. Oh, the pig. Oh yeah, those intestines. We know it's the waist track, but this, Louisiana hot sauce. Right? Just boil them for a little bit so your whole house can smell like pee and doo-doo.
Oh, man.
We know that's the waist track, but it's okay to eat. It's the confusion, sir.
We was at the mall one day, and this guy from Louisiana came in, and he was trying to describe to us how he make the chitlins, and how there's a way that you can cook them without it being foul smelling. Were you there?
I wasn't.
No, that one was near Shathak, but he was just like, yeah, man, the thing is that you gotta fry them for a little bit, then you gotta boil them in a crock pot overnight, and
so you frying doo-doo and boiling doo-doo.
Yeah. Because they gotta rinse them out like 7 times. And then
you gotta hook them to the hose. I've seen them clean chitlins, bro.
Yeah.
Remember, pig intestines are as long as ours. They're as long as ours, and then you hook them to the hose, and then you got to slit them to get the boo-boo from this part, because there's thick pieces of boo-boo in there, and the intestines shrink and get bigger. Bro.
Yeah.
I remember I used to work in this nursing home, and I was used to smelling pee. I was in the kitchen, though, but I used to have to go on the units and set the tables, and push the steam table around with the food and serve the people. And they had dementia, so they was booing on each other, booing on themselves. They was throwing boo, right? They was vomiting. Certain units, it was just boo, like it was there. You were like, damn, you got used to it. I got used to it. I was like, okay, cool. And then we had a new director that worked inside the kitchen. She took over from Esau. This Judite chick from the South. This nigga. cook some chitlins, because you can cook your own food in the kitchen. So my aunts, they Jamaican, Benjamin, they cook up food, breakfast, lunch, they be cooking dinner in there. You'd be happy I used to be happy when Winsome was working. Because she'd be like, you want something? Oh yeah, I want something. Fry some dumpling, cook some rice. Oh yeah, she'd make it happen. This chick decides she wants to boil her chitlins in the kitchen. Bro, it overtook the nursing home. It was worse than any one of those units. The smell. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, what is this? It smelled like straight doo-doo and pee mix. And she was like, yeah, they're chitlins. I'm like, what the hell are chitlins? I'm 16. I didn't eat pork. Wasn't raised on it. My mom didn't eat pork. My dad didn't eat pork. My other family members did. But I'm like, what the hell are chitlins? And when she told me, the smell made me almost want to vomit. Oh, and then ever since then, I went into 7-Eleven one time. And you know how you have pigskin?
Yeah, pork rinds.
Pork rinds, but they had the ones that it was like popcorn that you can pop. It was like pigskins in a popcorn bag. And they put, bro, and in 7-Eleven, they got microwaves for you to warm stuff up, pop your popcorn. Bro, they popped that pigskin and I vomited, literally. They popped that pigskin and I threw it right there behind the counter. I used to work in there. Bro, they popped that, I was like, oh no, that killed me. Yeah, bro. Filthy. It was the worst smell. Anyway, let's go back. Wait, let me finish this, because we got like 20 minutes. Okay. Let me finish this. Go back to Ezekiel. So 37 and verse 8. Read that.
Ezekiel.
She gotta play that. Oh, boo-boo guts. Read.
Ezekiel chapter 37 verse 8.
And
when I beheld, lo, the sinews and the flesh came upon them.
Right, so the law was given, the nationality was given, the knowledge broke forth. Read.
And the skin covered them above.
Right, and we were covered, but we didn't have no what? Read.
But there was no breath in them.
So we covered with the wrong thing, man. Read on.
Then said he unto me,
right?
Prophesy unto the wind.
He said, do what?
Prophesy unto the wind.
Come on.
Prophesy, son of man.
Read.
And say to the wind, thus saith the most high power. Come from the four winds.
Right, because Israel is scattered through the four corners. Go ahead.
O breath, and breathe upon these slain.
Breathe upon the what?
These slain.
Go ahead.
That they may live.
Right, read verse 10.
So I prophesied as he commanded me.
Now, look at it in the time of Ezekiel, and now look at it now. The time of Ezekiel, this was going on. He prophesied, and what happened? The men rose up. We rose up. We rebuilt the temple, right? We rebuilt the temple. After the Babylonian Empire, the temple was rebuilt. That was a 70-year captivity. We rebuilt it. So we got back our strength. We came back to the law. A remnant of the men. And then what happened? We did the same thing. Fell to the Antiochus Epiphanes, the Greeks, the Romans. Go ahead.
And the breath came into them.
And the what?
The breath came into them.
Right. Read.
And they lived.
Read on.
And stood up upon their feet, an exceeding great army.
So what is going to make us stand up and be exceedingly great in these days? The wisdom, the knowledge, the understanding, the law. Go to Baruch 4:1. Baruch 4:1. Yeah, Menudo. Yeah. You go by there was a spot in Colorado, because the one thing about Colorado that I noticed about Texas, the difference is, I really haven't found no real authentic Mexican food, but Colorado got a few places, and you could tell, because when that menudo is hitting, you want to leave the establishment, because it's tripe and guts and chitlins up in there. It just smelled like pee, like they're boiling buckets of pee. I love Issachar's food, don't get me wrong, but menudo, I chill. I don't mess with that. It's tripe, it's stomach lining. I don't eat tripe. I don't eat stomach lining. I don't eat that. Ugh. Read Baruch 4:1.
Come,
Baruch chapter 4 verse 1.
Popcorn pork skins. I'm telling you, it was a thing. Yeah, see? This had some.
My mom used to buy them for us all the time.
Ah. Jesus Christ. Are you serious?
So serious.
You remember the smell? That smell was, bro, it was the odor. I vomited. I threw up in my mouth. I threw up on my shirt. I threw up on the counter. I was like, whoa, what? Because it just hit me. He opened that door. I'm here ringing somebody up, and the microwave is here. He bust that microwave door open. I was like, I couldn't hold it. And I vomited, man. Popcorn pork skins. God. Pig skins in a bag. Read form.
This is the book of the commandments of God.
Read.
And the law that endures forever.
Come on.
All they that keep it shall come to life.
They shall do what?
Come to life.
Because before the law we were dead. Why? Because of our sin. All of that keep it shall. Notice how it says they shall come to life. Go ahead.
But such as leave it shall die.
Go to Proverbs 7 and verse 1. Proverbs 7 and verse 1.
God. Proverbs chapter 7 verse 1. My son, keep my word.
Come on.
And lay up my commandments with thee.
Read.
Keep my commandments and live.
And do what?
Live.
Come on.
And my law as the apple of thine eye.
And that's what it should be, man. This should be the apple of our eye. You should be trying to figure out, how do I keep this? How do I keep this law? How do I love the Most High with all my heart? And how do I love my brother as myself? How do I do that to the best of my ability? That's it. Everything hangs on those two things. If you love the Most High with all your heart, what you gonna do? If you love me, you're gonna keep His commandment. He said, if you love me, keep my commandment. If you love me, feed my sheep. So you're gonna do those things. And if you love your brother as yourself, you ain't gonna do harm to yourself. So you're gonna do to your brother the way you would do you. It's that simple. Go ahead.
God, bind them up upon thy fingers.
Read.
Write them upon the tables of thine heart.
Yeah, man. I don't care if you got to write them on your kitchen table. Do it. I don't care if you got to get the 10 Commandments engraved in your walls so they can be engraved in your heart. Do it. Sticky notes on your mirror. Do it, man.
What about tattooing it?
Lie. Got him. Hell nah. That right there, you just broke the law to keep. You try to break the law to do what? Remember something? People kill me with that. Like, why you get that one? Man, I was just feeling bad that day. You got the whole Psalms, the whole Psalms 119 on your back. That's like 100 and something verses. Go to Ephesians 5:14. We almost done. We got like 2 more scriptures.
Ephesians chapter 5 verse 14.
Read.
Wherefore he said, awake, thou that sleepest.
Thou that what?
Sleepest.
Read.
And arise from the dead.
Right.
And Yahushua shall give thee light.
Go back to Baruch chapter 4 and verse 2.
God, verse 2.
Uh-huh.
Turn thee, O Jacob.
Turn thee, O what?
O Jacob.
Read.
And take hold of it. Walk in the presence of the light.
See, he said do what?
Walk in the presence of the light.
Right. Wherefore I say, awake, awake, thou that sleepest, and arise from the dead. And Yahushua will give you the light, the wisdom, the clarity. Because Yahushua said it out of his own mouth. I came to give the understanding of the law. Go to John 5:20. Oh, no, read on.
The light thereof, that thou mayest be illuminated.
Thou may be as what?
Illuminated.
Go to John 5:25. St. John 5:25.
St. John chapter 5 verse 25.
Right.
Verily, verily, I say unto you, the hour is coming, and now is, when the dead shall hear the voice of the Son of God.
They shall do what?
Hear the voice of the Son of God.
And ain't that what's happening? That's been happening. That the dead in the spirit, my sheep hear my voice.
Go ahead.
The ones that are waking up, they're hearing those dry bones. They're getting moist, man. They're getting dipped in those rivers of living water. That valley, and the valley is just getting drier and drier. That's the sad part. The valley is getting so dry, it's about to kindle itself. But the bones that were dry in the valley, we starting to wake up. That was us. That was us. That was us 5 years ago. That was us 10 years ago. However long you've been in the truth, or before, that was you. That was us all throughout history. These bones, man. Read on.
Come. And when the dead shall hear the voice of the Son of God, and they that hear shall live.
They that what?
Hear shall live.
Remember, he said prophesy to the bones. Then he said prophesy to the wind. Because some of the bones ain't going to hear it, man. Some of those people out there ain't going to rejuvenate. They're not going to get the sinews. They're not going to get, and they're not going to get the understanding that, and this is very important because it goes deep with the sinews, man, that the law, I keep saying it hinging on two things: loving your neighbor and loving the Most High. A lot of brothers got the love, like I love the Most High part, but they don't got the love for the neighbor. So really, in turn, you don't really love the Most High. You think you do. So you have to have both. Again, back in the day, I love my Mexican brothers and sisters, but I don't understand the Most High's will. I love him, but I don't know how to love the Most High. I love him, so guess what my love is? We're going to get high together, we're going to drink together, we're going to smoke together. Y'all get this, right? Right, read that verse 25 one more time. And then that's the last scripture.
Verily, verily, I say unto you, the hour is coming, and now is, when the dead shall hear the voice of the Son of God.
Go ahead.
And they that hear shall live.
Right. Any questions on that? No more talk of popcorn pork, bro. That. I'm telling you, that was the worst thing I ever smelled in my whole entire existence of life. Right. I'm trying to see. Why did the brother read the scripture saying the Most High power instead of the Lord God? Just trying to get a better understanding. Oh, yeah, because for one, we speak Hebrew, so when we see God, that's the Most High power, Yahweh, is written all through the scriptures. The Most High has many different names, so you can say Most High. I like to say the Most High, the Heavenly Father. When you see the Lord or God, it's not always talking about the Most High, so we try to make it more specific. Go to Psalms 110 and verse 1. Somebody else get John chapter 1 verse 1. Just as an example of what she's asking why did the brother read the scripture saying the Most High power instead of Lord God? Just trying to get a better understanding for Wada. So go to Psalms chapter 110 and verse 1.
God, the Lord said unto my Lord.
The what?
The Lord said unto my Lord.
Right, so the Lord said unto my Lord. Now, if you translate it or read it the way it was intended, it would say, the Most High said unto my Lord, or the Most High said unto Christ. Because when you look at it, read it one more time.
The Lord said.
So the Lord, speaking of the Most High, said what?
Unto my Lord.
Now this is David speaking here. Who was David's Lord? Remember, David was the king. So he had no Lord. He had no flesh Lord. His Lord was Christ. So the Most High said to Christ. So sometimes we'll read it. The Most High said unto Yahweh Shai, or the Most High said unto my Lord. Y'all see that? Go ahead.
Sit thou at my right hand.
Right, because who said that? The Most High said that to Christ. The Most High said that to Christ. He said, sit at my right hand and I'll make your enemies your footstool. Go to St. John 1 and 1.
St. John 1 and 1.
It's just the translation. So, it all stems back to this. We understand what the Hebrew says. So we're basing what we're saying off the Hebrew. John 1:1.
In the beginning was the Word.
Right? So we know the Word was Christ. Go ahead.
And the Word was with God.
And so Christ was with the Most High. That word God, that's talking about the Most High. Now when you go into the word God, there's different meanings. So you got to get the context of the word. Like when you're in Genesis chapter 1 verse 1 and it says, in the beginning, God created the heavens and earth. Well, when you read the Genesis story, you understand that there was more than one thing that created the heavens and the earth. That word God is Elohim or Elohim, which is a plural word, which means powers and rulers and judges. But here it says, read it one more time.
In the beginning was the Word.
The Word was Christ. Go ahead.
And the Word was with the Most High.
So in the beginning, the Word or Christ was with the Most High. Go ahead.
And the Word was power.
And the Word, no, read it how you see it.
And the Word was God.
And the Word was God. But now in the context, Christ wasn't God. Christ was a power. And the Word was power or with power. So it's just the way it's translated. And then we go off of it from there. So that's all it is. But the Most High, even Yahweh Shai, Christ, he has many names. And his name shall be called. The Anointed, the Messiah, Hamashiach, the Wellspring, the Destroyer, I Am. Right? Christ had many different names. The Most High got different names. All right? So that's why you'll hear brothers say the Most High or the power when it refers when it says God or Lord. And we can't be confused because sometimes we'll say the Most High, but it's talking about Christ. So we got to be careful. You got to understand the context. Remember, context. Everything, the Bible is written contextual. You got to understand the context of what it's saying. Anything else? It's a video of Esau eating a pound of raw pork. Let's see. Since 501. Yeah, yeah. God was also a seer to David. It was also one of Yaakov's son's name pronounced God, I think. Remember, man, everything we deal with, we got to deal with in the context of the scriptures. So that's how we deal with things. Esau's growth. He said that it was his spiritual meal. The video of Esau eating a pound of raw pork. Esau eat more pork than us, and their health is good compared to our health. It's not meant for Israelites to eat what the other nations eat. Yeah. Remember, he said he gave his laws and statutes unto Israel, his judgments unto the judgments were given to us. So we're going to feel the repercussions of breaking the law. Esau can eat all the pork he wants, snort all the coke. He can eat all the bad food, shrimp, crab, lobster, caviar. He can eat that and be fine. For him, it's a delicacy. For us, it's death. It's destruction because of the fact that the Most High said don't do it. We ain't built like them. We ain't built like them. You heard of pork popcorn today? God. All right, man. Well, no questions in here? Everybody clear? All right, well, listen. If you got questions online, just hold them. It's 10, so we'll be back on Wednesday. We ain't going nowhere. We'll be back on Wednesday. If you got questions, just hold them until then. We thank everybody for joining us, being patient, listening, learning. We appreciate y'all for all the help, support, donations, all those good things that y'all send, all the positivity. We appreciate it. With that, we're going to say shalom. Shalom. We'll see y'all on Wednesday. Everybody else, I might get Wapunyawa, Yerushalayim. Rise and face.
Lies on Christ. So many lies that when we come with the truth, people think that the lies is the truth and that the truth is the lie.
Who changed the truth for God into a lie? In English, Jesus Christ, in Hebrew, is Yahweh Shai. So do or die. The immaculate conception is deception, along with the myth of giving gifts on December 25th. Christmas is Satan's clause, the birth of Nimrod, and not the son of God. To you was kinda odd. On the Passover, Christ was born in the spring. So now we bring the truth about the King of Kings. That's Black Jesus and not Caesar Borgias. And the facts can't be changed. It's all about the Most High. It's all about Yahweh Shai. It's all about the Most High. It's all about Yahweh Shai. It's all about the Most High. It's all about Yahweh Shai. It's all about the Most High. It's all about Yahweh Shai. It's all about the Most High.
Jesus is real, but you devils taught lies on Christ. So many lies that when we come with the truth,